All right, guys, welcome back to the Pop Culture Corner. My name's Ty, and I'm here. Hey, Brian. Brian's just walking by. Sorry about that. Say hi, yeah. Say hi.
Oh, hey, there I am. Hey. How's it going?
What a weird intro. Did you get my colas?
You know I did.
All right.
Coca-Cola Classic,
Yeah.
just the way I like
Just the way I like
it.
it, baby. Oh, welcome back, though. Before we get into it today, make sure to smash that like button, share the show on social media so your friends, family, and John Campea can watch along with us. Greetings and salutations. How's everyone doing tonight? I'll be joined by a couple people tonight, and it's going to be really, really fun. You can also support the show by sending a super chat or becoming a member, and or either one works. I got a fun story to tell before we start. So, as many people know, I got locked out of my my email, like my Gmail account that was associated with my YouTube account. So basically, I haven't been like, we only really got to monetize videos for like a month before I locked myself out like an idiot. And I've been going back and forth with Google and YouTube to try to figure it out, because I changed my phone number and I had two-step verification set up. You know, I didn't think it was going to be this hard. I really didn't. I didn't think it was going to lock me forever out, you know, and I was out of options. You can't call Google, you can't call YouTube. They tell you to go to community help pages that don't help you. They don't have what you're looking for. All this, it was just a circle and circle, back and forth and back and forth. And I had set up my account so that my personal email was on the back end. So that way, if I ever did change my phone number, et cetera, I could send a recovery code to my personal email. It was sending a code not to that email, but to the email I'm trying to recover. So you see where my problem lies. 2 months have gone by. Google finally reached out today and fixed it. So I'm happy to announce that tomorrow I'll get that link, and I'll be able to get back into my Google. So I'm actually pretty pleased. It did take 2 months, and you know, it still pissed me off. But we can only look at the bright side. We can only look at the bright side. That's my little story of the day. Word to the wise, if you're a YouTuber, etc., whatever, podcaster, don't ever change your phone number. Welcome today, Metaverse. TW, what's going on?
Having some delicious cola myself.
Yeah, my little slave there got me my colas.
Yes, and I want to say this. I know I don't want to harp on this point, but I want to say this honestly, Ty. I mean this, and you hopefully Brian can hear this as well. Thank you guys for beginning that podcast that you guys started yesterday. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Ty and Brian here started a podcast regarding their journey back to sobriety. And Ty, congratulations on 2 years of sobriety, by the way, buddy.
3.
I haven't had a chance to listen to the full thing myself, but the fact that you guys had the guts out there
I have
to
3
talk
years.
about what you went through and to get yourself back there, that really means the world to me. Like I've known some people who've had their own struggles. That really means a lot, and that must have taken all kinds of guts. So bravo and thank you, man.
Yeah, man. I'm not really shy about it anymore. I used to be a little bit shy about like talking about my sobriety and the things that I've done in my past, but instead of hiding from them, I'm gonna try to use them and those stories to give a platform to people that just want to listen and hopefully they get something out of it. It's not all about that. Like we joke
Exactly,
around
of
and stuff
course.
too. And if you want to listen, if you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction or needs help, getting into a program, whatever, feel free to reach out and private message me. Also, definitely take a listen to our new show. There's 2 episodes up. In the last 2 days, we've done 2 episodes. The link is in the description, as well as both of these guys' links and RJ's, and he should be here soon. So, yeah, it took it takes a lot to talk about some of the things that I've done to my family, especially. But we're trying to do something with it. So, I appreciate the sentiment. Okay. Yeah. So can you guys, Meta, can you talk?
I am here. I just didn't want to
Okay.
interrupt that very
Okay.
serious topic with my
No,
goofy ass
Yes.
mask.
Yeah. So today's topic, as everyone already probably knows, so today's topics are going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We'll talk a little bit about, there's not too much to talk about. The Zack Snyder is the blueprint thing, Eternals box office, and we're going to finally wrap it up with a huge discussion on John Campea and No Way Home. So we'll start it off, so Chris Pratt shared this photo yesterday. And so it seems that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has started production. The only person here that I don't know who is the darker guy right behind James Gunn.
Oh, he's from Suicide Squad.
What's his name?
I don't know.
But
I know he's from
Who was he
Suicide
in?
Squad.
It's
Who
Chuck
was he in?
Lindy. He's in the Peacemaker show.
Oh yeah, he's from
he's-
Peacemaker. Excuse me, not
he's-
Suicide Squad. Peacemaker.
Yeah, Peacemaker.
Nice.
He's rumored to play 2 characters. Well, one of 2 characters is either Richard Rider Nova or Silver Surfer. So yeah.
I would rather see Silver Surfer.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I
No
think-
disrespect to Nova. I love me some Nova, but Silver Surfer.
Yeah, and also I think really this picture was the cast for the holiday special.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That would
I
kind of
swear
make
to God,
sense, actually.
there better be a reference to the Star Wars one in this one. I need that.
Yeah.
So this is potentially not Guardians 3 production.
It's because Guardians 3 and Holiday Special are really coinciding. Like they have 1 week, or like they have 2 days of Holiday Special, then the 3 days of Guardians 3, and then like 3 days Guardians 3, then 2 days. It's like whatever,
Okay,
something
okay.
like that.
That makes
It's like
sense.
it'll be like coinciding production between the Holiday Special and the 3rd movie.
Okay. Well,
But yeah.
so I took my headphones off. Who did you say he's potentially playing?
Richard Rider, which is the first
Ooh.
Nova, or Silver Surfer.
And me and TW said we'd rather have Silver Surfer.
Ooh. So no, because I've been waiting for Nova for some time now.
It's one of those.
I don't
you
know.
have to do that character right, though.
Well, why
Yeah.
would you introduce Silver Surfer and Guardians though?
Because apparently, out of all the wrong things the Eternals did, apparently the one good thing they did was they teased we're leading into Galactus.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Considering I haven't seen
I've
the
been-
film.
I've been
Okay.
saying
TW, that isn't a spoiler. It's like Galactus is not in the film.
Okay,
It's
good.
just
That's
with all
fine.
the
That's
cosmic
fine.
stuff, with the cosmic stuff and the Celestials, Galactus is a Celestial. That's the
Oh, there you
connection.
go. That's a good point.
There's also
That's
a
a good
rumor of what's the group?
I didn't spoil it for you, buddy. I got you.
What's the group that Silver Surfer and Star Lord and Gladiator are in?
What group?
God.
Oh my
Yeah, that one's gonna slip my mind totally. I'm not
It's,
a. God damn it!
Hang on.
Oh my
Dun,
God.
dun.
But
It's kinda-
so
But
I've been
that
saying.
group is rumored to be introduced in that. So there's a possibility that Silver Surfer is possibly coming to like it's the start of Galactus. So he's probably like a planet that they're visiting gets eaten by Galactus, or needs to be saved by the Guardians, or something like that.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I've been saying Galactus is coming for some time now. Like kind of
Yeah.
right after, like literally kind of maybe like a month after they wrapped on the Infinity Saga and Endgame came out. That's who I've been wanting to see. That's what the kind of because Galactus could be that like that looming threat. You know, the one that's the Thanos type, he's hiding in the background, and then you can bring in, Doom, Silver Surfer, like you could King. I don't know why I call him Kong.
Kang.
That's the best thing
Kang.
about
And,
the
and
best thing
Yes,
about
the
Long
good
Marvel's
thing about
Island.
position right
Kang,
now is that they have the ability, especially with the Fox acquisition, to use all of those characters. We have. God damn it!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Greetings and salutations. This is John Campea. It's the John Campea Show. I'm currently being locked up by Sony Pictures, but I'm here to talk to y'all.
We're getting to that later, RJ.
that picture though, man.
I made it last night. I thought it was funny.
Anyway, what I was saying is that because of the Fox acquisition, and they don't really have to focus on just one big overlooming bad guy. That's the best part about this. They can focus on Kang the Conqueror for these movies, and build up Galactus for these movies, and have Doom be in all these other movies. Like, that's the best thing about Marvel's position right now, is that they have the ability to have so many fan favorite villains come out, and not just be a one movie villain, but overarching villains that have plans and seeds in a lot of different potted areas. If that makes sense, that's the worst example.
And another good thing about Kang is, like, Kang, you don't just get one villain out of him.
No,
you
don't.
You get Red Centurion.
There's a fly right on my camera.
Like,
that's
right in the middle, dog. Can you see it?
Kind of. You can see, like,
see how it's glowing on the bottom?
Yeah.
That's got to be his, like, wing or something.
Yeah.
Yo, that's so funny.
Oh my god.
Anyway, but yeah, so with Kang, you get tons of villains.
Check the private chat.
Especially if you're trying to do the Young Avengers, which it seems like Marvel's trying to do, you get Iron Lad, whose entire purpose is Kang. He lives to be Kang.
Right. Yeah. And like I always thought, because Kang and the Fantastic Four have run into each other in the past. Was he Ramatut at that time. So like, it'd be cool if we could see them phase
for Fantastic Four.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you guys think? Are you guys looking forward to Guardians? I know Chris Pratt has been getting a ton of hate on social media lately. I don't understand why. No, I don't get it.
Okay, so Caden, if you weren't going to explain it just then, I was going to.
I listen. I get why. I do understand it. Like, I get what's happening.
I don't.
People don't like his views and his political standings, so they
just
attack
the fact that he's a successful Christian,
right?
That's really all it boils down to.
Yeah, and he has spoken out about it like a couple of times, that he says himself that he doesn't believe he doesn't believe in what the church believes in, that he.
Right. I mean, he met his new wife at church. I mean,
right.
And I saw him post that
married
picture.
into like one of the most famous families in the country. Well, your country.
Right.
Well, no, I'd say the world. The Schwarzeneggers are well known.
No. The Kennedys. She's a Kennedy.
Yeah, she's a Kennedy.
Maria Shriver is her mother, and she is a Kennedy. I think she's Ted Kennedy's daughter? Not Ted Kennedy's daughter.
I thought he was going out with Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
Yeah, no, that was before.
No, Catherine Schwarzenegger's mother is Maria Shriver, who is a Kennedy.
Oh,
yeah. Casey's right though. Galactus doesn't really. I know I'm like
but it needs
Galactus
to be
doesn't need to be an Avengers level threat, but I do think that he needs to be a threat. He doesn't. He's not just a solo film threat.
No,
you know what I mean.
No.
Like maybe just a phase threat. Like You know what I'm saying? Not a whole.
This might be a hot take. I think you could do Galactus just fighting one-on-one the Fantastic Four for one of their movies.
Well, considering
Nah.
the fact that was kind of where that was
No.
where the Fantastic was where Galactus effectively started, right? Was a villain for the Fantastic Four, and
He
then
was,
became
but
this
then
thing.
you had like not even just the Avengers, but just superheroes in general, like teamed up to fight him because of how big of a threat he was. He lost because of Ghost Rider's penance stare.
Yeah,
Because
well,
of all the
look at
souls he
what
killed.
was it? Galactic Storm? Was that the big crossover in the '90s? Was the complete opposite end of that spectrum?
I think I hold on. I gotta.
Hello, Bell. I just messaged
think
Bell the other day.
I don't know. Big question mark on that one. I don't know, but I think the '90s had a lot of like different runs. To be fair, though, like it was kind of hard to keep up with everything. Kind of like it is hard to keep up with everything now.
Right. But okay, I'm gonna ask Casey this question real quick. Casey. Wait, no. Never mind. This is a question that I can ask in private. Never mind.
Galactus has no arc. What do you mean?
He really, if you look at it
if
from a perspective,
all
he really
does is-
doesn't.
He's
He just
like
eats
this.
worlds.
It's the
Okay.
person
Or
with the arc
universes or
that
whatever.
the person that has an arc that's related to him is Silver Surfer. Is the person that has the arc.
That's where the real
He's
arc.
the one that-
yeah.
He's
Well, yeah,
the one that
he's
has
the-
the actual arc.
Well, that's
While
He's kinda like he's like
more
a
of
loaded
weapon,
gun.
He's a walking weapon. He's a floating weapon.
He's a force of nature, I think, is a good way to
Yeah.
put him well. He exists. The real
Right.
heart of the story with Galactus is the emotional character development for Silver Surfer. That's your main crux to position. That's your emotional storytelling.
Right.
Because look what they did with Thanos, right? Thanos was an actual character that they took the time to develop and actually make you care about and be invested in. Galactus, you cannot do that same. You cannot do the same thing with that unless you make the crux of position of the story be centered on the Silver Surfer and his relationship to Galactus. Galactus is the force of nature. Silver Surfer is the real character behind that.
Hey, Bell.
Yeah. Also, you
Agreed.
have like Galactus, he's just num, while like
Oh,
it's like
actually, Casey said that he's a weapon.
oh yeah.
You have to find a way
Yeah.
to make Galactus more than a force of nature. Like
Oh,
I always
that's
like
so
Galactus is like a doomsday thing, right? Like doomsday's a weapon that
Yeah.
someone.
You really
Yeah,
have to
but
go into
Doomsday, like with
Galactus's-
Doomsday though, like he gets up in your face and beats your ass. Like Galactus
Not-
is just like this
They're not the same
overwhelming
character, not even
I mean,
close.
you
but-
have to really go into Galactus's backstory
Origin.
to make him into a character.
I
Right.
find but the reason I've been saying he's coming, and then Shang-Chi, kind of like the post-credit sequence in Shang-Chi, I don't know why it gave me that Galactus vibe to it. And at the end, I was thinking about Galactus, and I didn't know if it was my brain just like subliminally doing it, or if like
Mm.
it was tied directly to it. So
You're treating Galactus, Ty, how the rest of us treat Mephisto.
dude, hey, listen.
He's
Did you
in
guys-
that poster, by the way.
Did you see my
No, he's
post? I
not.
zoomed in on that bottom left-hand
Yeah,
corner.
that- and
It's
that's-
just
Tell me that's not
fire.
a devil face,
It's not.
man.
It's a face.
just
Tell me it's
fire.
not a
It's
devil
a
face.
face.
Oh my god. Oh,
You see, he
it's
unironically did
just
that.
fire. Oh my god. You guys are gonna make me go crazy.
Dude,
with this whole thing.
I was
Ty did that as
slightly
a joke,
no, no,
but
no,
I
but
genuinely believe that's a face.
I was slightly trolling on it, but kind of does look like a devil
It-
if you like really
It's
a
like.
face.
okay. It does look like a face, but it's just our brains.
Yeah.
It's our
Casey, I was
brains.
thinking more of the holiday special because shiny.
I don't know what that means.
But you don't know what that means. But yeah, this is the Annihilators. So wait, it's so Star-Lord isn't part of it. You have Gladiator, Nova,
Oh,
Silver
Beta Ray
Surfer,
Bill.
Ronin, Beta, and Quasar.
Right.
Which
Man, when are they going to introduce Richard Rider to the MCU? It's been so long.
Well, that's what I've
So
been
long.
like. That's
Can I just
why
say that
the Silver Surfer thing's cool, but like, I kind of want Nova first. I don't know why.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
I think
thing,
I
like,
want because
I
they've been
want-
they've been teasing it, here and there, on and off, for a while now. Like especially with the Guardians franchise.
so with Nova and Beta Ray Bill, because of what Thanos did to both of their races, I'm not saying their origins need to be similar, not by any stretch, but they need to have that common thread as to why they would team up. It's like, we're both like survivors of this like genocide of our people. I just think they need to incorporate that somehow if they do a film for Nova and Beta Ray Bill. They need to incorporate that into their backstory because that was a very essential thing from Infinity War. was the destruction of
I
Xandar.
do agree with Casey though. I do
I was so-
strongly like. There's no way they don't introduce Adam Warlock in a Christmas special. He's literally Space Jesus. I mean, come on, how do you miss an opportunity?
He's
That's
okay.
so funny.
That'll
It's so
be
great.
like that'll be a great.
Not to get into
like,
major spoilers, but RJ, how far into the Guardians game are you?
I got to chapter 12, 13.
Okay,
The chapter name is called Nowhere to Run. Or Nowhere to Hide. I don't remember.
what the hell?
How is this new
I'm gonna-
game? I've been hearing a lot about
It's
it.
fire. It is a
It's-
really good
it's
experience.
really
What the
good.
hell
It's
happened to
really
my
good.
mask? My mask died.
I'm going to
That's
answer
Oh,
Bell's
that is
question there.
true.
I'm going to answer Bell's question there. She was asking about Lawrence Fishburne as Silver
Oh,
Surfer.
he
He
was-
was the voice of Silver Surfer in the second Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, Doug Jones did the mocap though.
Mhm.
yeah. Doug Jones and Lawrence
Doug
Fishburne
Jones,
that was
buddy.
fun.
Good
brought you,
Jones.
Silver Surfer and the Rise of Silver Surfer.
Mhm. Are you guys happy that they've cast and it's officially like
Rest in
that
peace,
Adam Warlock story was kind of pissing me off. And how
Finally.
it didn't come to fruition. And then I was
It
like,
took a long
eh.
time to get off the ground.
Yeah, it definitely took
think
a long time to
It
get off the
definitely was
ground.
because of the whole firing of James Gunn and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, naturally, right? Like,
Yeah,
but
it's not the story's fault. It's just the way
It's
the
society.
timeline happened.
mhm. So wait, there's a Nova film?
Yeah, that's a Nova film that Casey actually broke on GWW when he broke the World War Hulk's movie.
I saw the
Which
World War
that
Hulk thing. 'cause
Makes me happy.
That's
but
all
he-
I looked at though,
he
because I was
said
so into
it was
that.
Nova, Thunderbolts, and
Yeah, I
World
saw
War
the
Hulks.
Thunderbolt one, which
That's
I mean,
also-
the
And
Thunderbolt.
I think Nova. I think Casey also said that there's another thing coming. That
Yeah,
he
he said
can't say.
he said he couldn't say what it was yet.
Yeah,
So
but there's
Who thinks
there's-
this stuff's
there's
gonna
quite
get
a few-
confirmed at
there's
Disney
quite a
Plus
few
Day?
things that are in the works that people are going to be very excited about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Meta, they will not confirm this Disney Plus Day because that's only about the Disney Plus
Yeah.
stuff. They
Well,
will
I meant
not
like
talk
maybe
about
like
the
some new
movies.
series and stuff that got rumored. You
New
know,
series-
like
Is
that
there
are
actually an
rumored, yes,
event
but-
on Disney Plus Day or no?
No, there's
Yeah.
no live stream. There's no live stream.
Oh.
There's not
They're
really live stream.
just
It's
doing
just
YouTube. They're just like doing tweet announcements, and you log
Yeah.
into Disney Plus and
it's
watch
like
the videos.
streaming day, like in
Wait.
the past June.
I thought they were doing it.
There's no live stream.
Really?
There is no live stream.
you were planning a stream, weren't you, Ty?
He
Well,
was.
I'm still gonna do
Yeah,
it.
like dude,
I
like
mean,
if
you
you're,
can
if you're
still do a
covering Disney
stream.
Plus Day live, it's
Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
be a
just
nightmare.
cover it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna cover it live.
Watch the
Because like
trailers.
we do with every other day
Right.
thing, I don't care.
Um,
What was Kaden? What was that other one we did where it wasn't live
Um,
streamed?
I know
Remember we
exactly
did
which
it?
one you're talking about.
It was
It was
me and Austin did it.
Well,
and
it was
I think
CinemaCon,
it-
right?
CinemaCon. Yes.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
fire,
And that was
by the way.
super fun. So I don't even care if there's no
That
live
was
stream. I'm just
awesome.
saying. I thought
Yeah.
there was I thought that they were gonna put like videos up on Disney Plus. I thought someone said that.
Oh, no.
Casey,
There's
Well,
gonna
yeah,
be,
they- okay,
there
so-
will be some videos on Disney Plus Day, like on the actual service itself, but they will be tweeting throughout the day, announcing stuff. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard there might be a Disney investor call as well, so they might drop some trailers in the evening time. Not sure that's accurate or
Well,
not.
if
That's what
you
I heard.
guys-
So
I know that
If it's a call, then
that
no.
that Disney Insiders, they're live right now. So after this live, you guys can go check that out, where they answer your questions about what's happening on Disney Plus Day, like what's being
Okay.
announced, what the schedule is like.
can we get a trailer for She-Hulk, please, or at least a teaser, something?
I think you might
please.
get a first look.
Yeah, maybe like a
like a
first
Jen
look.
just
Walters
need
and
that.
it's a,
That and
it's-
Moon Knight, man. I need to
But-
know these projects are in safe hands.
like you might get those things, but stuff like a full-on trailer for Moon Knight and She-Hulk. You probably for She-Hulk you might get what you got for Miss Marvel like last year with the sizzle reel,
and for Miss Marvel, we should get a trailer
If
yeah,
I find out
showing off
anyone in
those
She-Hulk-
amazing new powers.
If I find out anyone in She-Hulk is cloned, I will laugh my hindquarters off.
Why did you say it like that? Just say it, laughed your ass off.
I don't know, just trying to be polite.
I'll just give you a little hard time.
but yeah,
just
like
give you a
Casey
hard
was saying,
No, that's
that
an
the,
orphan
She-Hulk-
black joke for chat in case they didn't catch it.
Oh, God bless it.
But yeah, like Casey's saying, World War Hulks is basically
Oh,
She-Hulk is
God.
leading into World War Hulks.
They
which-
need to make that good. They
Um,
need to make that good. Give my
it-
boy his balls back.
I think people are expecting World War Hulk leading into Immortal Hulk or whatever. It may not be that.
Honestly, though, with how great that comic run has been, I don't see why they wouldn't. It's a fantastic run of Hulk.
Who did they cast as
is,
Eugene
but-
Choi? Did they
Huh?
I
cast
don't
somebody?
No, they haven't.
Who is Eugene Choi again? I'm sorry.
The
You mean
Immortal
Aminus
Hulk.
Choi?
Oh, wait, no.
On
That's
Daily
the
Bugle.
totally awesome Hulk, and for the love of God, do not bring that character in. I'm sorry. Out of all the new heroes, that's the one I just
Wasn't he-
cannot stand by on principle.
The Immortal Hulk? Why?
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, like Casey's saying, it's like Hulks versus Hulks. Like, so you see Hulk versus Abomination, She-Hulk versus Titania, and there might be
Red Hulk.
Red Hulk.
Rolk.
I'm,
you
dude,
might-
I am so ready for Red Hulk and the leader, and like
Kai, we have been
I'm
blue balled for
ready-
the leader
I'm
since
ready.
I hope they bring.
2008.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
the
say, I'm
post-credit
ready for
scene,
some
right?
of those characters to come back. You know,
I
Like
got
the-
blue balled so hard, and
I hope they bring William Hurt back.
You know what's funny? I know everyone doesn't want to like. I know no one wants to admit it, but it was like one of the first times I had Taylor on. Taylor
Murphy. Or
sure,
Landine.
let's call him that.
Scar, right? Scar too. Casey.
And he told me, he was like, the leader is gonna be in the She-Hulk series, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. And
I mean,
months later,
might be.
all of a sudden, it was like, yep. And I was like,
Yep.
so that's why, just for the record, like that's why I kind of like that. I was still a young
I know.
YouTuber or whatever, and that's
Right.
why I like believed him, because that first thing he told me came true. You know how like
wait,
scoopers
leader or
rely on that?
abomination?
The
Leader.
leader.
the
The
leader.
leader. And
The
she,
leader.
yeah.
Um,
It's just funny. That just reminded me of that. I'm sorry. Yeah, very weird. But yeah, so Guardians 3, I mean, where's this on your list? It's kind of hard to even think about getting excited for it, right?
Yeah, it's
I'm
still
pretty
far
excited
away.
for
We
it.
haven't
Yeah.
really seen anything from it. I mean, you know, if
Oh,
Oh,
everything,
they
if-
better
if-
do
if-
Scar.
well,
They're
if,
introducing
well, I was
Scar
gonna
and,
say, if
Shield.
everything we're hearing about Guardians 3, at least like what's been rumored for like years and years, this boy, like you get more of Rocket Raccoon's backstory, you get the stuff with the High Evolutionary, Adam Warlock. I mean, it sounds like
Yes,
it's going to be a
Casey
really
Mack.
great finale to the trilogy, and I really hope
I-
it sticks to landing.
Who's
I
gonna
like
die?
this
Casey
question,
Mack.
by the way, from Casey
Hold on.
Mack.
Yes.
Is there
Kingpin
still
is in-
rumors out there that we could get Kingpin in Hawkeye? So
I don't know, RJ. Are there?
Yeah,
Um,
he's in. He's
yes.
in King. He's in.
He's in the
Hawkeye-
show. He's in the
Kingpin
show.
is in Hawkeye.
I actually just texted Casey Walsh about Hawkeye, so hopefully we'll get to watch that soon.
Can I get
or
some
at least
screeners too,
whatever.
please?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Like,
I'm writing an article, so I'm writing a new. I'm trying to put, because I finally like got my job settled in. I got everything settled, so I'm writing like this little expose about the Disney Plus Marvel series so far, and you know, Hawkeye, when that comes out, is going to be the last piece of it. For now, you know, and that it's something I can continue.
Casey Walsh, I have writing experience too, please.
RJ, damn, bro.
Yeah.
You basically getting on your knees right now.
I'm
You
joking,
ready
I'm
for it?
joking.
So Casey believes that he is in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Listen,
I mean,
how nuts, like I feel like how much soda is gonna get spilled when Don Florio comes on screen, because I'm
A
gonna
lot.
throw everything that's in my hands.
I'm gonna lose my mind. That is the only reason to tune into Hawkeye.
I might scream out, "What is your major malfunction?" But that's just
Like when I think of Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, all I can think of is him slamming that guy's head into in the
I just heard the no, I'm here to kill you, and then
Yeah.
just jumps on the man.
everyone used that for the Campea memes, which is hilarious. But no, from what the rumors are, the rumor is that he appears in a post-credit scene in episode 4, that he's in episode 5 and 6. I don't know if that's true. It's just a rumor that's been going around for a while. That he's going to be in multiple episodes. He's like the real actual villain. Like he's like not like the villain, but he's like the one, because he's the Kingpin. He's the Kingpin of crime. So
right.
if there's a criminal mafia going around that Hawkeye's involved with, obviously he'll be involved. And you know, there's the
Basically,
Echo
it's
show as
kinda like
well.
this- it's like there's-
Hawkeye, basically the way it is so we all know Ronan from Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And so that Ronan killed like half of like a lot of people's criminal mafia stuff. So
Oh, that
Kingpin
Ronan.
sees Ronan as a threat. But now that everyone's back, and now that I think we might learn that Kingpin possibly was snapped, and he comes back to half of his mob being gone.
Yeah, he'd be
Um,
pissed.
No,
and
but
he'll
okay.
be mad.
But
He'll
that
be
still
mad.
doesn't. So, but
And
that
then
still
he
doesn't.
sees, and he
Hold on.
sees
You're
that
getting ahead of yourself here. That it still doesn't make it entirely cognizant or coherent on how this Kingpin is. This a multiverse Kingpin? Is this is the Netflix stuff like a different realm and a different universe or whatever, and this is just a Kingpin that looks exactly the same but has a different backstory. Like, do you think they'll tell
that's
us
why
any
Loki
of this
introduced
stuff?
the idea of variants, though. That's why it's
The
so
variant
beneficial.
stuff. That's what I mean. That's
Right.
that's
like
the word. I was
like
looking for.
we could say that the versions that we saw on Netflix are simply a different. I mean, if a multiverse exists, we could say, hey, the Netflix stuff exists in its own little pocket universe, but these are like the same actors playing the characters, but they're the MCU versions, the official
They're
MCU
the
versions
main
that are
versions.
changed just
Versions,
slightly.
the same
but,
attributes to an extent, but somehow they're also different in certain ways.
Yeah, certain ways they'll be a little different.
Do you
yes.
think they'll have any backstory given, like to make that 100% clear? Like, this is not the Netflix version. Here it is. Like,
I
maybe a
think
little.
I
the
don't
way
think
they'll
they'll
make
dive
him
into
different
backstories.
is-
I think they'll do it via visual differences between the characters.
Yeah, visual differences.
Okay. Maybe a little hair on Kingpin. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
That
they'll
would
probably
look
go
really
full
weird.
on. They'll probably go
think-
full comic accurate and make him fat in the fat.
Yeah, I
like,
think
oh,
the Kingpin you see in the MCU is going to be a much bigger version of the character than we've seen before. Much.
I don't know
bigger.
how I
Like-
felt about that because I actually didn't mind him being the size he was. Like
Right.
his,
He was like a normal big.
yeah, his presence was just intimidating in and of itself.
Right.
That's Vincent D'Onofrio for you, my
Yeah.
friends. That's
I just want him to have the
who he
classic
is.
diamond cane. I just
Yep.
want that so
Yes.
bad.
Tree.
Imagine him just like, it's
Oh,
Rick.
buddy.
This is another series I'm super into right now is Moon Knight. I'm like
God, don't
craving
screw it up.
information about it.
God, please don't screw it up. Please
I-
don't screw it up.
I am
I'm
all
really
in on the
excited
Moon
for
Knight
it.
series.
Yeah.
I'm
What
excited.
do you guys know a lot about the character? Like, where you guys
I know a
stand?
fair
on-
bit.
I know a lot about the
But
character.
I'm like that they're doing it.
I don't want to spoil it though, Ty. I want you to just be like, because if the trailer does drop, I just want you to be like, just how you were when I showed you Pibby, just like out of your mind, like, what is this? Like,
No,
what?
I know who Moon Knight is. I know his whole backstory.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Moon Knight.
Yeah,
was
the
one
real
of
question
characters
is what
that I was
backstory do
gravitating
you
to.
know? Because that's the great thing about Moon Knight.
Like the mystical one, you know.
Okay,
one
okay.
where
the one,
he gets his
the one where
Khonshu.
he's basically
The
resurrected
original.
by
I thought that was the
Khonshu.
original backstory.
Khonshu.
Is there a different one now?
There's
There's
many
like
different Moon Knight backstories. That's the great
5
thing
now.
because the
Oh.
writers took the multiple backstories thing to craft the story of him having multiple personality disorder, to where we really
Right.
don't know if Moon Knight's really a superhero or he's just insane, which is the great thing about
Right.
the character.
That is the great
Honestly,
thing about. He's just like me. He's an alcoholic. I love it. You know.
He's
Like,
he lives by Joker's rule. If I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice.
and when I say alcoholic, I just mean addict, Gaten.
Yeah, I know, but he actually does do. He used to do ketamine.
Yeah.
Also,
Mark
But
Spector,
ketamine's one hell of a drug, folks.
and that's what made
Woo!
him have multiple personalities.
Yeah,
was the
because
ketamine.
ketamine use what ketamine is really used for is to tranquilize animals mostly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what it does is it detaches your brain stem from it, like not literally, but
Yeah.
it takes your perception away. Like you have no depth perception at that point, right?
Right.
And that's why you pass out, like because it's overwhelming. It's a crazy drug that should not be ingested at
all that is
all,
holy.
That's not clear.
right? But yeah,
But yeah, basically, yeah. Mark Spector is he's Anthony.
Anthony.
yes.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I'm glad you're still here.
That's understandable for now. Knowing who Anthony is, that's understandable now.
But do you guys think that the Moon Knight series will push PG? Because what I really like
needs
about
to
what
be
the Disney
R.
Plus series are doing is, like, for instance, scenes like Falcon and Winter Soldier with John Walker and the Shield. I kind of liked how they stepped over the line a little bit. Do you think they'll push the PG-13
They need to.
I think.
I think they will, but I fundamentally disagree with the idea it needs to be rated R.
Yeah.
Why? This
I'm
For
gonna be
Moon
honest.
Knight, no.
I
that you
think
can
I
make
think the
TVMA.
over obsession of people, especially
Violence.
comic book fans, wanting all this stuff to be rated R, I think is a bit ridiculous.
I
Like,
don't
that's
want
my
everything
hot
rated
take of the
R
day.
just for characters that make it make sense, like Deadpool, Moon Knight, Blade. Those characters have to be rated R.
Deadpool and Blade have been PG-13 before; they were just fine.
Oh my god! No, it
Yeah, they
wasn't.
were-
Once Upon a
they were
Deadpool
fine
was a
because-
worst part. It was
I'm
a
not talking
bad.
about the movies; I'm talking about the comics. Like
Oh.
they work in
They've
PG
always-
settings just fine.
Well-
They do not need to be rated R.
If you want to be, it's because Moon Knight's not a movie, right?
no, it's a
Yeah,
Disney
the
Plus
TV
series.
Yeah, so technically speaking, it won't be PG-13.
Right.
You can get it to what, TVM or
MA.
whatever it is.
TV
Yeah,
Yeah,
TVM.
You can get it to
for violence.
TVM without.
Wasn't
but
Falcon Winter Soldier TV like what 14? TV
that
Yeah,
one
TV
episode
14.
was TV.
And-
That episode where that thing happens, I know was rated different.
yeah, it was because of the episode in like Europe and Asia, it was rated TVMA, but in the States it was rated TV 14
Mm.
for violence.
Yep. So I mean, like I've been campaigning for this almost a little bit now. I think, like I said, maybe a little bit of a solution would be to have like a vault. You know, how, like Disney's all about the vault. We'll make a vault on Disney Plus that's password protected, and that's where maybe some mature.
That's what I
content.
think they're gonna do next.
I
By
think
the
that's
way,
the easiest
for a bit of,
win.
for a bit of
with Star.
context,
With
just for a
Disney
bit of
Plus Star.
context, for Disney Plus Star, at least for Canada, for the variation we have up here of Disney Plus, they do have something like that. Basically, everything that would be over, or for folks over the age of 13, you can set up a password for.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's what they.
Yeah, but that's
what,
because
their plan was for next year, because they were testing Disney Plus Star, Disney Plus Host Star, and Disney Plus Star Plus, and
There's
South
way too many
America
stars
and
and pluses.
I
now.
know.
Well,
Like-
Hotstar was an existing streaming service in India. Disney Plus just partnered with it.
yeah,
Star, I'm not particularly familiar with. Like I said, I am so
Yeah, and the reason they did that TW
so
is
glad they
because-
did it.
Yeah, it's because internationally people don't have access to Hulu. In America, at least, the more edgy content is reserved for Hulu.
Yes,
That's
trust
all-
me.
that-
As a Canadian,
yeah.
I know.
dope
As
sick.
we don't have Hulu,
Right.
so Star was awesome because I get all the Alien movies, I get all the Predator movies, all the Die Hard movies. I get
Family Guy.
Family Guy. It's what else I get? All the first 8 or 9 seasons of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's
Because it's
good.
FX.
Yep.
Hey,
There's a
it's
bunch
Bart's.
of other FX shows on there. You get like Bob's Burgers as well, which is really awesome. And
Thank you, H.
Solar
Barnes.
Opposites. Yes,
So-
shut up.
H
there.
Bar says not everything has to be R-rated, but Moon Knight has a dissociative identity disorder and also has schizophrenia. Dude is R-rated. Sorry, RJ.
Define
I mean,
makes a
he's-
lot of sense.
He's got a point. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like I'm not gonna because a Moon Knight series where you could really dive into the dissociative
Yes.
identity disorder and the schizophrenia, maybe like using that to tell the story at some points, using it to show the disease. Get a lot of people want
Yeah.
Well, they
representation
started
these
writing.
days.
They've written the
gonna
show
sound-
already, right?
No, I agree. Ultimately, it depends on the story. The story dictates what the rating needs to be, what the vision for the character in the show is. Do what is best for your story and what is best
Yeah,
for your
of
vision
course,
of that character.
every
Yes.
single time.
But
every time.
what I get annoyed with, and it's not like really annoyance. It's more like I wish people would realize that these characters have worked in PG-13 before, and you can push the envelope of what you can do at PG-13 at this point.
Yeah,
You can get
of
some of the
course.
things you want with that rating.
especially
Right, but
Disney.
it was more satisfying to see Wolverine and Logan be rated R than it was in any of the other X-Men films. It satisfied that itch that Wolverine fans have been wanting since the character debuted in the original X-Men back in 2000, and it was just glorious to see Wolverine finally hit the big hard R. And
it was super gratifying, and people that have been huge fans of the character, it was their
Snicket.
payoff. That was the swan song, the finale, and I think the fans of the X-Men franchise, the way it was, deserved that. But I don't know if Disney could necessarily get away with it.
I think that they could, and I like with characters like Wolverine, Moon Knight can flop back and forth between PG-13 and R depending on the story, but Wolverine, Deadpool, Blade, Ghost Rider, I want to see like the characters that do have like that dark, heavy overtone. I want to see like darker stories from them. I have been wanting, and I know I'm not saying it needs to be rated R, but I've been wanting on the subject of dark stories, like give me a good Hulk movie that's like dark and has like Bruce dealing with like the duality of him and Hulk. Like I wanted that so bad that like it was in somewhat in Incredible Hulk, but I want more of that. I want it to be like, that's why I hope that Immortal Hulk happens, because Immortal Hulk is dark.
Yeah, it like there are some Hulk storylines that you could make R-rated if if it was allowed by Disney. But so let's move on a little bit, because we do have a lot of stuff to get. 40 minutes on the technically the Guardians topic, but great, I love it. So moving on, next up we'll talk a little bit about the Eternals. All right, so the Eternals. We're not going to get into spoilers simply because someone here has requested that he not be spoiled because he hasn't seen it. Identify yourself.
It's me. Oh.
Hey, there's some crap on my screen, Ty. Can you
Meta?
Can I?
No,
you get
just mute Meta during this segment, folks. It's gonna be
his Eternals rage doesn't make sense to me, because it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's a decent
even
film.
if I haven't seen it though.
Wait, are you kidding me?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's not that bad, but you haven't seen it yet.
I will not be silenced. This is dictatorship.
So Eternals reigned in with 161.7 million.
That's not bad.
Global opening weekend. Listen, I had said this a couple days before the movie opened, that it was still on track to do well, even though the critics had literally ripped it a new butthole. Right? People are still loyal to the Marvel brand, and I don't think that that's ever gonna, stop as far as this current regime goes. People are loyal to the brand. They want to go see the films. Eternals. I mean, this movie. I was so surprised that it was rated so low by critics after seeing it.
It's well deserved.
We were talking about Eternals.
Well deserved. Wait, what
did I say?
No, I was making a solo joke. I'm sorry.
That film also deserved its rating. It's mediocre.
But so as far as Eternals goes, I think
y'all are clever. Y'all are cute and adorable, and I think y'all are funny. Get that off of my name.
I don't understand what's happening.
No,
but I hate good things on my name, and I don't.
I can edit people's names.
Yeah,
of course you can.
You have opened him to a new. You have opened up the Pandora's box, you guys. I hate all of you. You're not invited to my Christmas party.
No, but so Eternals. Listen, despite what Meta will say or anyone will say, it's if you really are invested in the Marvel universe, right? If you're really invested in the Marvel universe, you really enjoy it. This movie, you're gonna have a good time. Like, yes, it's slow at points.
RJ, I know that's you. Or that's you or Caden.
Hey, interrupt me one more time, and I'm gonna let Caden keep you out.
Sorry.
Yes. All right. So, if you really like, I really enjoy the MCU. There are films that I don't necessarily enjoy, like Captain Marvel, but I still smiled at parts and I roughed it through. This is kind of one of those movies. It has parts that are gratifying and they'll vindicate you. The scenes with the Celestials, I think, are really dope. The visuals are great. I'm still very intimate in the fact that I don't think Chloe was the right choice to direct the film. Now I think she's being eyed to direct some Star Wars movies. So
yeah, she's
good luck with that.
Star Wars.
Good Lord.
The Kevin Feige produced script from Michael Waldron, who Michael Waldron wrote both Doctor Strange 2 and Loki. So,
Moon
which
Knight and the
which
Punisher
we
were in the
saw
military
coming.
together. That's
Yeah,
true.
Mark Spector and Frank Castle.
But yeah, so who's seen it? Raise your hand. Oh wait, you guys don't come on camera. Sorry.
I saw
Um,
it.
I was on camera. My mask died. I can't help that I didn't.
Yeah. All
Charge
right.
your
So
mask.
Yeah.
So I
Blame
know
your mask,
RJ's seen
Mara.
it. Caden, you saw it, right?
No.
Are you are
said
fired?
No.
So only
I
RJ,
haven't
RJ
seen
and I have
No.
seen it. RJ,
No.
I gave it a 7.3. And I saw
Oh,
it
God,
in
good
IMAX
gracious.
and Dolby, by the way. Dolby, the clear-cut winner, by the way.
I wish there was a Dolby Theater anywhere. Really,
Dude,
really
it
bad.
is unmatched. Like AMC IMAX, like I have a standalone IMAX. Like it's one of 12 theaters in the world with the capabilities that it has. Dolby can't compare to that, but an AMC IMAX, Dolby wipes the floor with it. So definitely, if there's a Dolby cinema near you, definitely go. That's the way you should be watching movies. But anyway, what did you give Eternals as like a rating?
Yeah, no, it's interesting you asked because like the movie sat with me for a little bit. At first, I was like, some of it's really good, some of it's kind of boring. I would have given it a 6. But the more I sat with the movie and thought about it, it actually, some aspects of the movie really warmed up in my eyes. And it actually, the more I thought about it, the more I ended up liking the movie. I'd probably give it comfortably about a 7 to 7.5.
Okay.
So,
I'm getting slandered.
So Case says A/B cinema score is bad and the worst of any Marvel film. Yeah,
that is correct. It is at the
it
lowest
is.
cinema score, yes.
Yeah.
That's why I do agree with him that I will be interested to see the second weekend because I think it will drop off. I don't. It's interesting, right? Because like my
Unless
audience
tomorrow
seem
they
to like
announce
the
that
movie.
No Way Home trailer will
but-
be attached to it.
Well, that'd be smart.
No,
That's
it was
really
too late.
bad.
I think it'll be attached to Ghostbusters.
Okay. Ardu, what were you saying? You were saying something.
I was just saying it's gonna be interesting to watch that second weekend because, like I said,
Well, it even
my
took a
audience
dive.
like-
It already
my
took a
audience
dive.
liked it. My audience liked the movie. Seemingly, it caused a lot of fervor and discussion. Walking
Okay.
out of the theater, I don't know if it's going to be for everyone though. It's a lot of story. It's a very dense movie. It's very different. Some aspects work better than others, and I think it doesn't have that. When I saw Shang-Chi, I'm like, this is a great, entertaining ride. Right? It's the classic Marvel formula in terms of a great. We make fun of Martin Scorsese for saying that, but it does feel like an amusement park ride. It's like a good roller coaster. This is more of that slow burn, methodical kind of paced movie to where it cuts very deep. It's entertaining in a lot of aspects, but it's not the kind of movie I'd be like, oh, I want to go see this again. Like, let me go watch this multiple times. It's not like a Shang-Chi where I'm like, I want to see this again,
Right. Right.
This is the kind of movie I'd wait to see again in like a Disney Plus to re-examine later in the future. Not the kind of movie I want to repeatedly see in theaters.
Yeah,
So-
man. I watched it back-to-back nights. It was rough. It was rough. I watched it on the Wednesday thing, the fan screening, whatever, and then I saw it again on Thursday night. And yeah, I get the second time around, like I was definitely bored because it's you're right. It's not a movie that you go see twice in theaters. Like it's just not. There were some cool visual cues. I really enjoyed the Kit Harington stuff, especially at the end. That scene at the end really hyped me up. So, Eternals. I mean, for the rest of you guys, are you at all looking forward to going to see it and at least experiencing it?
I
Oh,
already
yeah.
know the whole movie, so it's like I know the post-credit scenes and everything.
Cancel
Right.
all your appointments. You're gonna be there for a minute.
If it's a 2 hour and 37, 2:37.
It's almost
Yeah.
3 hours. Yeah.
That's not bad.
But and then
That's-
what reports of Spiderman being 2:40 almost, right? 2
Yeah.
hour
I
40
think the
minute
rumor was
mark.
like 2.5 hours, 2:40.
Yeah, and I
Yep.
think that I think that that's going to be ushered in as kind of the new staple for Marvel movies is like 2.5 to 2:40. That mark is
I
going to be
think
the sweet
especially after
spot.
the
Well,
Infinity
Disney
Saga,
Marvel.
they're
Sony's
trying
still
to-
working on that.
Yeah,
I think especially after Infinity Saga, especially after Endgame, I think they're gonna definitely try to do the next two phases where each movie is bigger than Endgame.
hmm Yeah.
At least try, to make it bigger than Endgame because then if it's like how else would you keep people in? And then the
Right.
smaller stories will be the Disney Plus series and stuff
And
like
that's not a bad thing. That's
I
not.
just
You
think
know
of,
what
like,
I could have done if they. I was getting. I know this is really bad, a bad comparison because what I'm about to tell you, this was so bad that people forget that it was even a thing. During Eternals, at some points, I was getting really bad Inhumans vibes. I don't know what it was. I was getting really bad
Wow.
Inhumans vibes.
You weren't alone, Ty. I felt the
Yeah.
same way.
So,
Oh God.
and I was like, you know what? Maybe this could have been a Disney Plus series instead of
Thank
a
you.
film. Maybe that would have worked a little bit better because it's a story that it's almost you're filling in the blanks. Like, yeah, they were here for 7,000 years, but they didn't interfere. Maybe that would have
Except they
been a
did.
more intriguing series, you know, kind of getting to explore like more about what the Eternals did in the past, getting to spend more time on that. And then finally, maybe at the end of the Eternal series, now we're present day, and all of a sudden, you know, we end with that overlooming celestial threat, and that's saved for maybe a season 2. I don't know, you know, maybe
You can
I
also
should be
develop
working,
the characters more with a series versus a movie.
right. And this team is especially large at the beginning.
And it's oh boy. Yeah.
It's 7 is a good team. They start off with what, 10? 10
Yeah.
or right? How many
Yeah.
are here?
1,
2,
2, 3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10.
10. Yep.
So that's a
There's
lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. And some of
That's-
the characters that I
And
really
to try
wanted
to give
them
each
to
of them
get
enough
into,
character.
they didn't. They
No.
kind of breezed over it. I was like, or
Yep.
other thing. So I was, you know, I definitely was a little bit more disappointed than I was excited. But overall, the movie is not as bad as the critics are making out to be.
It is.
You
Meta,
can believe
shut
that. You
up.
can.
Sorry, dude. I can't.
It's
Like
his
again,
opinion.
I'm a pretty positive dude. I'm being for real.
Oh,
I'm not
it's-
even like trying to be a joker or a shitter. I seriously love a lot of Marvel stuff, and I try to stay as positive about stuff as possible. I try to find the good things in certain things I can find. But with stuff like Venom, Let There Be
Wow.
Carnage, and this, I just can't. I cannot stay silent. I didn't have any expectations, no hype or on it. Like I was like, okay, this is a movie. This is a Marvel
Right.
movie. It's going to be
Nope.
important. I'm going to go see it. And I left like, wow, this was what the heck did I just watch?
Right.
Nothing happened. Nothing
Nope.
of importance happened.
I haven't seen Roblox in a minute, man. How you doing? Thank you for showing up.
It's Iron Man Roblox.
What? I don't even know what Roblox is. I know it's something, but I
It's
don't
some
know what it
video
is.
game.
Oh, okay. But yeah, all right. So Eternals, I'm not going to spend too much time on it just simply because too many people haven't seen it here. I would have loved to talk a little bit about some things, but we'll get into it at a later time. But this allows me to transition into my next thing. So director of Eternals, Chloe Zhao, I was sitting there during the movie, and at multiple times I was definitely getting some Man of Steel vibes out of Icarus. And then tonally, like if you look,
Thank you.
Meta, I'm about to get you out of here, man.
I'm sorry, dude.
All right.
I'm in a very like just mood today.
I got
I'm sorry.
you. So I
I'll
was
mute
getting
my mic.
I was getting hella Man of Steel vibes, and then if you look at the story, right? So people or beings that are outside, they don't originate on Earth, yet they fall in love with the people because they know nothing else, and then find out who they truly are, and try to protect those same people. What does that sound like to you? Superman? Yeah, I would say so. So, like from tone, theme, a lot of stuff, even some visual stuff, really like I got some Man of Steel vibes from it. And I was enjoying that part of it. So the Chloe definitely confirmed that she took inspiration from it, and then that led to what I think is the best hashtag in the world, is Zack Snyder is the blueprint. So do you think that, did you guys see the comparisons that I'm talking about?
No, I saw the comparisons. I think the hashtag is very silly, though. I know it's a meme.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It's a funny little hashtag. Although it is weird to like say, "Oh, we're the blueprint for this movie." That's like the most divisive Marvel movie ever.
Right.
I mean, to be fair,
blown
Man
up
of
in the
Steel
face
is still
of it.
divisive.
What is that?
Man of Steel is still a very divisive Superman film.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's true.
For sure it is. The direct Superman reference, like, come on, it doesn't even get any.
You know, Icarus is
It
just
doesn't-
Superman.
It
He's
doesn't
Walmart
get
Superman.
any clearer. Dude, some kid was arguing with me on Twitter that there was no Man of Steel inspiration there. I'm
All
like,
he
dude,
used was his laser eyes.
I was like, they literally called him Superman. Like the kid
That was
called
the
him
whole joke.
Superman.
Yeah, that was
He's like the Wish version of Superman. Like Superman is like Superman is like
But
Icarus is
but
just
wouldn't you
Wish
say
version
that
of Superman. Prove me
Icarus doesn't
wrong.
Icarus doesn't need no sun, but Superman does.
You know what? Ooh, you almost. I'm gonna be quiet.
So technically, Superman is the Wish version.
Caden,
of
all I'll say
Icarus.
is this: go watch Eternals. Go watch Eternals, and then we're gonna come back to what you just said. But
I'm just saying, and from what,
I said this over on Four Nerds channel, Ty. I think I said the same thing. This is a Zack Snyder film. It feels like just a Zack Snyder film all around. But here's the thing: I said I think every Zack Snyder film is better than Eternals because
That's not even a question.
but people over there were questioning me about it because, and here's my thing: Zack Snyder created his formula on how he creates movies. Chloe tried to, in my opinion, duplicate that, and it failed.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that. Again, I know Caden's like a kind of a defender of Chloe, you know, and stuff like that. But whether she's a fan of the source material or not, whether she read it all cover to cover or not,
no, she didn't.
I don't think she was the right choice for the film.
I agree.
I think Kevin Feige got wrapped up in the Oscar buzz, wanted to bring a director with name value to the brand, and it kind of got it, like the comparison to the Sunset thing.
okay,
I was like,
well, I'll
cool.
say this.
Guess what? No one's ever watched a Marvel movie for the sunset. Not once.
Well,
Oh, that's a really
okay,
beautiful
I'll say
sunset.
this.
I get what he's
Is
saying.
that-
I get it.
I would say this. That it would. So the whole Kevin Feige going to her thing is like that. I'm not gonna say that you are wrong, but I'm just saying like general people saying that that's the fact, but it's not. It's Chloe went to Nate Moore, which Nate Moore went to Kevin. That's the story, because Nate Moore was looking for a new movie to produce when Kevin gave him like go find another movie to produce. Chloe went to Nate, and Nate went to Feige after, that whole thing.
Uh-huh.
So that's how they met.
Well,
because
I was
Chloe
gonna ask
wanted
this-
to make a Marvel movie.
Well, I was
And
going to ask
so
this question then, based off what you said, Ty, what I'm seeing in the chat. Like,
Hey, Saggy.
who would you get to direct this movie then? Like, what other director could you possibly see working on a movie like this?
That's the thing is, but of course, hindsight's 2020, right? Like every single time. Chloe had just came off. What's the thing with that film, the Nomadland one? She filmed it with like a camcorder or something.
A natural lens.
right?
natural lens and all the basically,
Whatever, right? Yeah. So
I think
I
some sequence she
understand.
shot with her phone.
yeah, and she is very talented. I'm not denying that. She's very. You know how tough that probably was to do to shoot Nomadland the way it, and then to have it be received the way it was. That's awesome. But I kind of reminds me of the Ava DuVernay thing, right? Like, would her New Gods actually have worked, or was it just her name that got her in the door that day? I don't know.
We'll never know.
You know, we'll never know about that one. Chloe, I don't know if I would have hopped from Nomadland to Eternals. I don't know. I don't see what was like, what Kevin Feige saw in Nomadland that was like, she could definitely do this one.
And what's crazy is this is not the first time that, like, I mean, this is one of the times it's happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but this is not one of the first times that this has happened with a Marvel property. Look at Mark Webb, the director of Amazing Spider-Man. What was the movie he did before that famously? 500 Days of Summer.
Mm-hmm.
So it can work. It's just, it kind of depends, right?
And then you have the
Also,
directors
yeah,
of Captain Marvel.
Because yeah,
Just saying.
the movie did go not many. I heard it went through 2
See,
rewrites and then 1 rewrite during reshoots for the
One of the
post-credit,
PCs
one of the
during
post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, post-credits.
Post credit. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that Chloe did a bad job on Eternals either. I think that's the thing with Marvel movies too, is a lot of it is most of it, 90% of it's prevised, right? So
Well, I mean,
the director is there to turn the previs into live action shots. I don't know if you necessarily need a director like Chloe to do that.
well, Eternals wasn't okay. Eternals isn't a movie that Kevin thought he would do in this phase at all. Like, it was not in his sight at all until again Chloe went to Nate and Nate pitched it to Kevin.
How are you gonna? So would you ever have brought in the Eternals? Because how would you? Now hear me out. If you didn't bring them in right now, because some would argue that they should have, if they were going to ever introduce the Eternals, it should have already happened. Because now it's so convoluted and like you know what I mean, like how it the technicality of Thanos having the deviant gene, but being an Eternal at the end of the day, right? But that's why they didn't step in. Like, you kind of have to suspend your belief at too many parts of the Eternal story, like why they didn't do why they didn't help out. So where would you do that down the line? Couple phases from now? I just don't think Eternals would work.
If I remember correctly,
they were planning phase 4 around 2017, 2018. So around that time is when it was announced that Chloe Zhao was doing Eternals. So they obviously were planning, having the Parliament pitch Kevin the next few movies and TV shows for Disney Plus, and then him compiling it into how would he construct the next two phases. That's when that whole like, okay, so now we have Eternals, we have Shang-Chi, the movie that I've been wanting to do since phase 1, but I couldn't do because we had a racist boss, blah blah, and all that stuff.
Right.
So that's that's basically what happens. And so, like Casey was saying, that like the previs is usually the bigger scenes. So the bigger scenes would have been, that whole final fight in Endgame. That would have, but also the Russos were always gonna do Infinity War and Endgame when they did Civil War. So that's when they did the previs during Civil War post-production. So then,
listen, I've talked to Jeffrey, who's an editor in Marvel, and he straight up said that 80, maybe 70 to 80% of the movie are prevised out in some form or fashion before the director even steps on the set. So I'm going to take his word for it.
Yeah, before they step on set, but not before they step in production.
Right, understood.
Yeah,
but so do you need? So that begs the question: do you need this big name director, or anybody, matter of fact, to even like, or could you bring Joe Schmo number 2, who's just graduated film school, to actually direct these movies? Does someone need to be a director anymore?
To some degree, the directors are the names that people want to see. The general audiences, they want to see the directors,
days, right? A long time ago, it wasn't always the case.
Yeah, it was, because now if you were to get Joe Schmo number 1 and Joe Schmo number 2 to do Captain America 1 and Captain America 2, then it'd be like, okay, why should I care about Joe Schmo and Joe Schmo number 2? Why? Right. While I care about Joe Johnson and I care about the Russo brothers, because I've seen Joe Johnson's work and I've seen the Russo brothers work on Community, so I like those directors. Let me go see what they like to do on the spy thriller. Let me see what they do here.
I was so blown away by what the Russo brothers did with Community on a weekly basis. How they turned that show into a sci-fi action adventure, like with the paintball war stuff.
Oh god, those episodes are amazing.
The Russos are just so talented. I mean,
the chicken fingers episode,
right.
like a
Dude,
mobster.
The mobster. Oh my! They.
Which one? Which one, Ty?
The chicken finger one, the mobster one. That was so good. That was so well put together.
I'm confused. What are you two talking about?
Community is a show about people in community college.
The Russo brothers.
Yeah. Dan Harmon.
They often have themes to the episodes, and the Russo brothers took a comedy series, and at times made it like a thrilling action adventure. It was crazy, like what they did with that show.
I mean, like,
truly amazing.
To piggyback off of some of what Katie was saying, that once upon a time, Kevin Feige originally wanted to do Inhumans, and then that was taken away from him basically, and he was like, "Well, I guess I'll just do Eternals instead to kind of fill the void of the Inhumans."
No, that was never. He never had. Well, because okay,
that was the long-sitting rumor. Like what I had heard, it was
they wanted to do Inhumans because they didn't have the X-Men. Right?
They wanted to make Inhumans their X-Men, and so
because they did Eternals because they announced.
And then Perlmutter took Inhumans away from Feige, and was like no, and gave it to Scott Buck, and made it to a 6-part limited series.
And that's why Feige's now the boss.
Yeah. And Perlmutter was that's now why Feige's now the CCO because
they said we've had enough of this nonsense.
And dude, Inhumans was the biggest and a bigot and a sexist, and
who was this?
Inhumans was Perlmutter. Inhumans was the biggest train wreck that I have ever witnessed.
It was horrible. It was atrocious.
RJ's still here. How you doing?
I'm letting y'all talk.
I love that. I love that. Meta, you should take advice.
I don't see Inhumans.
I'm just kidding.
But I don't see Inhumans happening for the next 10
Can I come to Canada?
I feel really bad about the Inhumans show because I feel like
it had potential.
Because whenever you bring up Inhumans, people think of that show.
Yeah, and it's that's the crazy.
Didn't the characters get killed off in the comics too? Like they're still not I don't think that Inhumans are like
that was Inhumanity, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what
so Inhumans, you won't see Inhumans for the next 10 years until people forget about that show.
And it's so hard to forget.
And then when they bring them back, they're going to do Remember Me videos.
Well, think about this, right?
When he does announce Inhumans are coming back, then people are going to bring up the show again. So it's nothing you can run. He can't run away from.
It's staying on the brand, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to think of an example. Well, you know what another example would be? Because it happened within 98 to 05, right? Was what happened with Batman. DC, but still, right? 98 was Batman and Robin. Took them 7 years to put them. Shut up.
Someone's toast is done.
That was me needing to move my coat in my dryer. But no, the thing is, 98 to 05, you had 7 years of everybody going, oh, they're making another Batman movie. Please don't be as terrible as Batman and Robin. And hey, look, it winds up, being one of the best Batman movies ever made. So I think they just need the right talent. They need the right sort of amount of time because it's been 20. What was the show?
2017, I believe.
Yeah, give it another couple of years, and they'll probably get another crack.
I think the best thing to do would. They're also connected to the Fantastic Four, so bring in the Fantastic Four first, and then bring in the Inhumans. Because Johnny actually goes out with I think he goes out with one of them.
He tries to go out with Medusa, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, is she a villain, or is that a different Medusa? No, there's a villain from the Fantastic Four that's Medusa. I just don't know if it's the same one.
No, it's someone different.
I think I wouldn't even mind because Caden is 1000% correct that as soon as Inhumans ever would be announced, here comes that show riding back up on our coattails, right? You're never going to get that taste out of your mouth, especially guys like me who went to that stupid IMAX screen.
IMAX is the best, though, right, Ty?
Waste of my time.
Terrible. Oh my God. I went to that standalone IMAX. I was pumped up for Inhumans, even though it was a TV show, and I was just watching I think it was the first 2 episodes maybe.
Yeah.
And then I left that theater with my jaw.
And those are the only 2 episodes that they had Medusa have her hair.
Yeah.
And then after that, they cut her hair, and they're basically in the second episode they cut her hair.
Yeah, and she was bald now, right?
Yeah. And she was like, my powers are gone.
Right.
Yeah. See, this is where I get a bit confused about their plans just a little bit, where it's I understand if they want to stay away from Inhumans as a brand for a while because of the damage that show did. But you have a perfect opportunity to relaunch those characters with that upcoming Ms. Marvel show. And it seems that they're not taking that opportunity, which whatever, it's
But you
fine.
also have-
I still wish I don't understand the motivation behind changing your powers. I will never understand that.
Okay.
I don't
Oh,
get. I
It
don't
pisses
get
me
it.
off,
I don't
actually,
get
a
it.
little
one,
bit.
okay, I'll say this. There's 3 reasons why some things are not happening. The one reason for Inhumans not popping up or making Miss Marvel Inhuman is because you have general audiences who still, like I said, they don't know. Some of them don't know the difference between Marvel TV and Marvel Studios. So
That's
if you
true.
introduce Miss Marvel as Inhuman, they're like, oh, that she's just like that. So this show's can be like that now. So
But
no,
what if
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna
allude
watch
to her being an Inhuman? You just introduce the Terrigen Mist. That's it. They don't really say that she's an Inhuman until much, much later down the line. They still like
Okay,
do the same
but
origin.
still
They just
you
don't
have this.
acknowledge
You
that she's an
still have,
Inhuman.
but you still have the genesis that know that Terrigen Mist is connected to Inhumans,
And it was
and they know in the comics
of
that
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Miss Marvel
died.
is also Inhuman. So they're like,
Yeah.
okay, to make her different from the comic and make her different from the Inhuman brand is to make her powers different and make her origin different.
Mhm.
See, but that's the
And-
problem I
and
have as
then-
well. Because Caden, you know this. Like when I tell you this, her shape shifting abilities are so integral to her origin in terms of her identity as a
yes.
hero. Her shaping it,
Yeah.
her learning to
Right,
like accept
yeah.
herself for how she looks. That she doesn't need to be like Captain Marvel, blonde hair,
Because in
bright,
the comic
bright
run,
blue
she
eyes.
does
Yeah,
turn herself into Captain Marvel.
Like the,
for-
Yes.
the perfect being, right?
Yeah, she thinks that Captain Marvel is the perfect, which I agree that there's some, but at the same time I think there can be a possibility that that in the finale or season 2 or presented the Marvels where they might do something to her character, make her
yeah, no, I
that.
trust that the people who are working on this probably have good intentions with this, and they know that
Yeah.
that the show is important to a lot of people's representation. I'm just confused why they're making things more difficult for themselves than they need to, because they are taking the hardest route to get this character into live
I
action
also
versus
think
what probably
this-
would be a lot easier to do.
There's
also
different
think that with
variations
leaks
though
and
of other
stuff,
characters
I
in the
think this
comics.
is-
Like
This is also another thing that leaks out of context. Out of
Yes.
context.
yes,
This is
that's
something
another
that
good
leaks
point.
Out of context, that this has leaked, and no one not a lot of scoopers know the context. They just know that their powers are changing. But the only people that know the context are the people that are working on the show and are
course.
in the show.
Yeah,
So
of course.
and they can't let you know the whole show, So they're the only ones that know the context of it. So I think we should wait until a trailer or a
And that's always going to be the
synopsis
case.
or
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
always going to be the answer to everything that is even remotely similar, right? If we don't know and we haven't seen, try not to hate it too much.
No,
Right?
absolutely,
Don't let it.
no, you're correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't let it consume you too much until we know exactly. I'm not a fan of the idea of the power change either, and I'm with you, RJ. Someone related to
I just
Green
want to clarify
Lantern.
real quick. Yeah, I just want to clarify. Real quick. I'm not trying to say
despise
I
that
hate.
comparison.
I'm not trying to say I hate this. I trust the people who are working on this to know what they're doing. I'm just confused as to why they're making the choices that they're making. That's all. I'm just a fan of Miss Marvel wanting to make sure the character's done justice, right?
Right, because
And
that
then
means
Casey
a lot of
brings up, yeah.
that character was so popular, especially with the Muslim crowd, the representation it gave them. That comic book series it really hit home for a lot of people, right? And that's why it was so loved. And I don't see a world where they don't do that justice. I'm not super keen on the Green Lantern comparison, but
Yeah.
Also, you have
I'm
the
gonna give it a
people
chance.
that you have
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
like
Maybe we can do.
people that are twisting it, making it seem like, oh, she's a genie now. That's not true at all.
She's a what?
That whole thing where people are saying she's a genie,
Oh,
that
that's dumb.
is so oblivious onto what is actually happening to this show. So don't you dare spread that she's a genie.
Yeah, I don't know why
Who's
people are
saying
saying
that?
That's
There's
racist
so many
and also
leakers that are on Reddit saying that she's a genie and then spreading it to Twitter.
Why
and
is it
people are
why is it
saying,
racist,
oh,
JP?
now there are people looking at
I think it's
the way
racist.
that Marvel Studios
Why?
looks at Miss Marvel and looks at a
Explain in a second.
Pakistani Muslim as a genie, then makes them look like
Yeah.
the bad guy now.
Yeah.
No, that's not true at all. The reason why they're making this power change also is because they're still continuing that whole grandma with the bracelet storyline. But there's
What?
It's that whole thing's still continuing where it's like the bracelet is from her grandma.
Okay, good.
That's still
That's good.
continuing.
That's good.
But the one thing that they're changing is the difference of the bracelet. That the bracelet may seem something that it's not.
Okay.
That's
I understand what Caden's saying. That makes a lot of sense for what we've seen leaked so far. Like I said,
And
I think Casey Wallace brings up a great point too, that you have people who work on the comics, you have people who are closely associated with this, who are trying their hardest to nail
one
the
of the comic
character.
writers of the creator of Miss Marvel is one of the writers on the show.
Yeah, I think everything else surrounding the show is probably going to be very solid. It's just I just get concerned because I'm like, this is an obstacle the show didn't necessarily need to have to deal with, because there's still going to be people, even if it's handled well, who are still going to complain and say, well, they changed the powers, so it sucks, even if it's really good anyway, and it still honors the character in every other regard. It's like, well, they changed the powers.
You have Bijak K. Ali, who is again, she's the one that figured out the whole time travel stuff for Loki. She's knows physics, she knows all this stuff. So why have someone that knows all that, hire them for the show, and have them not use their stuff at all, but only use it for one show? They're obviously going to use what she has learned for this show. She's going to use it.
I have a
for
question.
this show.
Go ahead, TW.
My question is, because I'm vaguely familiar with Islam as a religion. Are all jinns evil? Are all
Jinns, yes.
What's it? Wait, the what?
Jinn.
Jinn.
It's another word for
Jinns
jinn.
are, yes.
Jinn. Yeah.
Is it
Jinns are primarily depicted as
Evil.
Within the
evil
confines of Islam.
versions. Yes.
Versions of
Okay.
Because that's why, because jinn are an actual, basically, like jinn are a part of the Muslim religion. Like they're an actual. So when you hear, for example, because Cameron Pasha is a Muslim, and I'll bring it up because he's talking about.
Why are you gonna bring him up?
It makes sense. It makes sense if you're wondering why, because he was on a podcast about supernatural beings. That's why he believes in them. So there you go, as explaining why they exist, and so it's
right.
That's why I asked that question.
I agree, Casey.
I like
that could make sense,
especially because Kree is still
Kree is still connected to Inhumans, so that's their way of still connecting her to the Inhumans without making her inhuman, straight up.
This is a completely off-topic question, but it kind of connects to bracelets and stuff. The movie's been out for a while. It's about Shang-Chi in the first post-credit scene. I'm just wondering, there's so many questions I have about that, about the beacon and the signal and the thing. The ring.
That's what gave me the Galactus vibe.
The director said that whatever you remember the comic origins of the 10 Rings, that's what it is.
Ooh.
What does it even mean?
Wait a minute.
Wait
a minute. Hold on.
The big dragon.
No, they're not. No, they are not. They're not bringing my boy in. They're not bringing my boy in. I know they're not. I'm not to freak out.
Boom.
Because a lot of people were upset about that.
Yeah.
A lot of people were upset.
I remember when the first trailer for Shang-Chi came out, it showed the white dragon. People thought the Great Protector was Fin Fang Foom.
Fin Fang Foom is green. Oh, he's beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy.
Well, that'd be cool. That'd be because I was wondering why they left that whole part. Why they would leave that out of the Shang-Chi film was kind of like.
They didn't need Foom for that one. They didn't. I'll admit that.
They didn't need him, but
I mean, it makes sense to say for a sequel, though.
Yeah, because look how you guys just reacted.
Oh, I love Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah.
So exactly look how they fit on your arms. The rings are really, but the way that it's there's two meanings behind it. The rings are martial art rings where they're on your wrist, and then rings as if dragon rings. They can fit on a giant dragon.
Okay, those rings just redeem themselves. I will now officially call them rings. They're no longer bracelets. They are rings.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense when you put it it just clicked in my head why they look that way. That makes so much sense.
To answer
Right.
TW real quick, the reason why I said I thought that'd be racist is just because, like, you know, a Middle Eastern girl being a genie, that just rubs off
reason
wrong.
why I hate when these three people on Reddit and Twitter are spreading around that she's a genie.
And
That's
like,
not true at all.
and like, as far as her origin goes, like, I'm fine with them changing it only because, like, again, like, I know people hate this game, but the Avengers story for Kamala was fantastic, and she became her own hero through that story, but didn't have to be exact. It wasn't the same thing like the comics. I'm fine with it being a different story in the MCU because also Miles went through the exact same type of story in Spider-Verse, and if they're going to do a live action Miles, I don't want to hear that same story twice.
I heard that too. I heard that too. I don't
It
know what
sounded
that
like
was.
it blew their top.
That was scary.
That
was
scared,
so
the
weird.
that scared the crap out of me, honestly.
Wait, what happened?
I was like,
Okay,
Okay.
so
His
it,
loud
it must have
scream.
been JP Signal. then,
Must have
because-
been, right?
Because all of us heard it but him.
meta.
I didn't know what
Um,
happened.
There was just this like,
Like someone was
Nice.
screaming.
yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, well, now that I have the floor, right? We are going to transition into the topic of the night. Before we get into that, I do want to say, if you do, or if you like to read comic reviews, movie reviews, TV show reviews, make sure to head over to gww.com, home of all geeks worldwide, and you get some movie news and breaking news updates, whatever. It's a great website, and we definitely help contribute towards it. And I'll be doing a lot more of that, in the coming days. So let's talk. Well, no, greetings and salutations, I think, is in order. All right. So Mr. Campea, long
John
time
Campea.
rival of mine. He just doesn't know it.
Don't
Wait,
worry,
you guys
Ty.
are
You're already
rivals?
better
Why-
than him.
Hold on. Why would anyone in here possibly hate Mr. John Campea? I don't understand that.
Because he's a
People hate him?
sellout.
He doesn't
Yeah.
understand half the crap he says. I don't think he think he just says stuff.
I have like it's and I hope no one like thinks less of me because of this, but Grace Randolph and John Campea, I just truly have never liked. I don't.
Oh yeah, no.
It's those two people.
Never.
I've never saw eye to eye with. I was watching John Campea back in the AMC Movie Talk days, and I didn't like him then. I don't like him now. It's not about his takes or anything like that. It's like it's something else. It's something else, and I'd probably get in trouble for saying it the way I would say it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. So Mr. John Campea has been in the news in the last 24, 48 hours after this picture. Just kidding. Not this picture.
That is
Oh,
terrifying.
you gonna
though.
actually show the picture?
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, some Spider-Man No Way Home stuff. Let's take a look at the tweets. Thank you. # Film Junkie. So it started off with this. Holy shit. My name's John Campea. Okay. So I've shared Spider-Man Photoshops before with like 12,000 retweets like this one. So let's get off on the right foot here because I just want to preface this. Right in his thesis, if you will, right? He tells you why he's sharing this photo, right? So let's not get it twisted. Anybody. Why he shared the photo was the same reason that scoopers do what they do. To be the first one, to be vindicated, to get verified, to do, whatever, to look good, to get 12,000 retweets. So if one more person asks me why, he did it, this is why.
He also said in
because
the
he
first 5
wanted to.
minutes of his video last night,
Right.
he just wanted to take credit for artwork that he was sent.
Exactly. And we'll see that later on in the watermarks. So again, let's preface it. Why he did it was because he wanted to be the first one. That's why everyone does it. We don't just post stuff on social media because it makes us feel tingly inside. No, we do it because people retweet it and it gives us this little adrenaline rush in our head and it makes the neurons fire.
Dopamine.
That's why we do it. So, whatever. there's a link to the actual picture. Twitter.com, whatever, I think, right? That's the link. Then today I get sent these and think they're also great Photoshops. So he really wants to know you to know it's Photoshopped. Because the one image has the classic mistake of having inconsistent placement, part 1, of the light source. In the image, the light source is on the left side of Tom and Andrew's face. He would later go on to say, go on, look at Tobey Maguire's dick.
Wow, he really wanted us to all look at Toby's dick. to
Yes, he
see
said,
if you look at
and
it,
I quote, I never thought I would say this in my professional career, but look at Tobey Maguire's dick.
Yeah, he said the lighting on his testicular region was off, so therefore the entire thing is fake.
Famous
Fact,
last
the balls to
words.
say that is
Ladies
just
and gentlemen,
insulting.
John Campea jumped the shark so hard. Like, here's the thing. I was
You're
just
welcome,
like
Ty.
Enosh today. I was gonna give Campea a bit of the benefit of the doubt. Be like, okay, but his speech during his show criminalized him so badly. The thing I keep coming back to, Ty, is he Jarva put it perfectly. If he watermarked a legitimate leak, he's an idiot. If he watermarked a Photoshop of something he didn't create, he's a plagiarist and a thief.
There's
Either
no
way.
way that it paints a good picture.
Yeah.
There's not a single way that comes off as him doing something for brand like recognition. No, he was either plagiarizing it or some other nefarious causes. So let me finish the rant real quick. On the left side of Tom and Andrew's face, but on the wrong side of Toby's, obviously Photoshop, right? So again, he pushes the Photoshop on you because he needs plausible deniability just in case. I am under the assumption, by the way, I don't know if you can tell, that this was purposely done. I really find it hard to believe that John Campea doesn't have someone telling him, like, hey, this would be a really bad idea if we don't know. I don't know. It doesn't
oh no,
sit
he
right
tells
with me.
himself that he just posted, like in the video, he basically says that he saw the photos in his inbox and he took the picture of him.
Right.
Supposedly
Because the guy that
emails like this all the
grandfathered
time.
YouTube, Movie Talk, right? Like literally paved the way for guys like us and like that, right? The guy who has 93,000 followers on Twitter, 283,000 subscribers, just looks at a picture, takes a picture of it, and throws it on Twitter without verifying it. Right, that makes sense. So pardon me.
My opinion,
it
5
Can I
minutes.
ask real
One
quick?
second. 5 minutes later, someone contacts me saying they might be real. So just to be safe, I delete them. I go eat dinner because I'm a human. Watch some of the football game, then turn on my computer and find out the damn things went viral and I'm trending on Twitter. Again, right? Vindication for him. So yeah, I thought and still think that they're fake, just like this one. So Mr. Campea, you single-handedly have Spider-Man asking why and Green Goblin shaking his finger at you. Why? You are one of the biggest names in movie, film, critic, whatever. You mean to tell me that you slipped up on a story in a scoop that's been consuming social media for months? You, my friend, deserve whatever's coming to you next. And I really do think that you should be probably take your screeners away, at least the Marvel ones, a suspension at most, a suspension at least. And I think because I think
A fine.
No, I don't. The monetary that's not going to do anything to him, right? He doesn't care about the monetary. How you hurt him is by kicking him back where he kicked you, right? Take away his early access. That way he can't be the one that breaks a review or is doing what John Campea usually does, and that's like go to the premieres and stuff. That's how you kick him back. You hurt his wallet, and make an example, because this shit needs to stop. This fucking leak bullshit on a consistent basis with every fucking movie that comes out. I'm so fucking sick of it. I can't go on Twitter without fucking getting one of my favorite things spoiled potentially because you have these fucking idiots that just. I would if I could see you now, I'd wring your neck. That's how pissed
that
off.
was-
said this-
He
That-
did.
said
He
this-
did. That
For
Casey
legal
Sparky
reasons,
did
that's a
say
joke.
that. He posted that on Twitter and got hell for it. Yeah, that is accurate.
No, this is
So
He
Uh,
said, "I'd wring your neck."
He said,
I-
he said if you leak things from the studio at press screenings or early access, you need to be fined $1 million if you sign NDA.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a good.
What?
You know
John
what?
Campea, give me
I'd be in on
$1
that.
million.
He's
Go
only
find
worth
that tweet,
$400,000, so $1 million would really hurt him.
That's why I
So,
said
yeah.
fine, baby.
Like Campea did say that he was like Campea was like, I was contacted by a studio by the name of S. You can figure out that. I'm like, what studio would be worried about these pictures and
If
name
they weren't
S?
real.
So, folks, I will give it to
Hmm.
you here. These are, I altered it so I couldn't get
Oh,
in trouble.
you beautiful boy.
But it's already been shared. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that they're fake.
They're real.
I just wanted to show the watermarks. I kind of try to alter it so you couldn't really see too much. I try to make it as dark as possible, but he watermarked like right
Right
In
in the
the
middle of
middle of
both,
them.
yeah.
in the
main
middle. Of
reason
them.
why I believe they're real, the only reason why I believe they're real in any capacity is because, assuming that what he said is true, a representative from Sony contacted him
Yeah.
trying to find who gave him the images. And I'm thinking to myself, if Sony knew they were fake, they wouldn't go this far.
They would
Right.
just ignore it. They play it off as it. nothing-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, but okay. Well, did you guys also see what Tom Holland? Like Tom Holland was right on like an
Cheeky.
interview somewhere.
Oh yeah, a total film. Yeah.
Yeah, literally quoted as saying, and I get it, right? Even if Toby and Andrew are in it, you know, the evidence is honestly starting to point towards maybe they are. And I'm one of the last holdouts, as RJ said. I get it. I'm very much in the belief system of I don't want what happened to me with WandaVision to happen again. So, you know, I've kind of ingrained it. But Tom said, quote, I can't quote him because I don't know exactly the quote.
He
But-
basically said that people still won't believe me that Andrew Garfield and
Yes.
Tobey Maguire are not in this movie, but eventually they'll
Have to believe me. They're not in this movie. People are eventually going to have to start believing me, or gonna
He
something
also
like that.
he was like the three generations are coming together, but when I say
But only
three
the
generations,
villains. Only the villains.
I mean
'Cause if
Jamie
you look at
Foxx
the
and Alfred
quote-
Molina.
If you look at the quote too, the way he worded it, right?
Yeah,
Three
it's like- it
generations
seems like
of
he's like, oh,
Spider-Man movies.
yeah,
Dot
He-
dot dot.
He
but
had
I
to catch
mean the
himself. He
villains.
caught himself.
yeah.
I have that article here.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
one of them. But so Casey was told they were real.
Well, Ty,
like I said-
I will tell you this. For legality purposes, I will use the word hypothetically, as I've been doing. Hypothetically speaking, there might have been people who have reached out to me that I know personally who may have hypothetically told me that not only are these images real, they're about as real as it could possibly get. This is only speaking hypothetically, of course. I can't actually tell
Hypothetically
you they're
is a-
real, but hypothetically they are real images. Hypothetically,
Right,
of course.
Well, Casey's been saying that they were real, and I do trust Casey. And you know, whoever's talking to RJ, I don't think that you'd be like spitting bullshit out of your mouth. Trust me,
RJ's
I
always
don't.
spitting.
I would not say, hypothetically speaking, I would
I
not
was just saying
hypothetically
things
tell
you wouldn't
you
say, no.
unless I was hypothetically, I'm hypothetically.
Well, just
in some
remember
regard.
that if it's not true, you'll be forced to see this picture of Green Goblin pointing a finger at you for the rest of your life, as well as Tom Holland asking you why you just did that. So
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
here's, by the way, Mephisto confirmed in this poster, just so
Oh,
you
yes.
know,
stop with
in the
Mephisto.
bottom left-hand corner, right under where the banner should be. Look at that bottom left-hand corner. If we can
And look
zoom
at
in a
that,
little bit,
The
That's
small
the devil.
wording makes a mouth.
yep. So, you know, Mephisto's confirmed. Toby's confirmed. Andrew's confirmed.
What's the
Charlie Cox is confirmed. Every single person that's ever been in a Spider-Man movie
Half-Life
is
3
confirmed.
confirmed.
Okay,
Yep.
TW. Now you're just pulling like things out of thin air. Stop that. You
Oh, there's
know
another
Val
face
doesn't
in
count
the
for three.
corner. Is that also Mephisto? Is there two Mephistos in this
Well,
movie?
Double Mephisto confirmed? Holy shit.
Well,
Guys,
you
what do
know
you
the old saying, the devil is in the details.
All right, so back to this Campea thing, guys. What
Just
do you
saying.
think? what do you think that the punishment should be for someone of, because like it's one thing for like a Joe Schmo like us to like share it because we want clout or whatever, like Saggy Melons, but what
You
about
mean
John
like RJ?
Campea? No, I use Saggy because RJ's sitting right here. So.
Wow.
I would,
Here's what I would say. I know, Chai, you feel very strongly passionate about this, and I totally understand why. I'm here to tell you, though, as much as maybe he may deserve something to happen to him, Campea is going to be just fine in terms of... I don't think he's going to be punished monetarily. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. From the way he made it sound, and who knows what's really going behind the scenes. We're not there at John Campea's house listening to his phone calls. To me, it seems like they're not mad at Campea a little bit. I think they're going to be ticked off, and I think he might be hurt a little bit in terms of like access in the future, or his relationship with certain studios might be in jeopardy.
right, but that would theoretically hurt him.
Yeah, it's going to hurt him a little bit, but it's not like a major damage to like his entire brand or show. What Sony is really after is the person who sent it to him.
3,000 people watching that show today.
It was actually upwards of almost 5,000, Ty.
They were praising him. Like, look what you did. That's, guys, an idea, right? An idea is the single most dangerous weapon in the world, right? That's why guys like Doomcock thrive, right? That's why people like those types thrive. And John Campea has created his audience, right? His brand, and people do, like, even Jack back in the day used to take anything Campea said as dead ass truth, because why would he lie, right? He paved the, and I'll give the guy respect. He paved the way for what we're doing right now. He's the OG of movie talk in the internet. He knows what he's doing. He's not stupid, which leads me. That's why I get so frustrated, because you're telling me that this guy who's been in the business for this many years, who calls himself a film critic, a movie connoisseur, all that stuff, that he would share it because it looks like a Photoshop, like without, like in my journalistic days, right? You should always have two sources of verifications before you run a story at all. Why weren't those precautions taken here for a guy that has so much to lose?
I see, because it makes no sense, because the way, like I told you earlier, if you watermarked a real leak, he's a moron. If you put a watermark on a Photoshop he didn't create to take credit for, to say I'm the first one posting this to the public, he's a thief and a plagiarist. So, like, either way, he messed up. Either way, he's a moron in this case. He screwed up bad. And again, him coming out and saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, please take a look at Tobey Maguire's penis." I'm like, that getting clip and going viral. He made himself look worse in his own live stream. And I know there's some people saying, "Oh, he's working. This is all planned PR stunt. Sony wanted this to happen." No, they did not want this to happen. No. Like,
they're literally, like, word on the street is they're like at odds with each other right now about the two trailers that they have on the back end.
Well,
yes,
yeah.
they
want.
So why would they
cut a lot of different versions of the trailer? My thing is,
They have like 3 versions of the second trailer.
Yeah,
like why would they want John Campea to spoil
to
it,
leak the biggest surprise in the movie? Yeah,
right. So again, what should be the punishment?
I think the punishment should be,
lawsuit,
like you said, Ty, earlier, where it was suspension from both No Way Home premiere and Doctor Strange 2 premiere, and from screeners for Hawkeye,
at least like a 6-month thing,
and from Ghostbusters 2 as well. Like, if he hasn't seen it already.
I actually just got invited to the Ghostbusters like early screening.
So Ghostbusters, No Way Home, and Doctor Strange 2, and Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, and She-Hulk, no screeners for those things. And then,
you know what? I would take that as a punishment. I just think, like I said, I'm a firm believer in like especially with my past, like in TW, he knows a little bit. You need to, if you make your bed, you are getting in it and sleeping. You gotta you reap what you sow. You have to take responsibility for your actions. And if it's a mistake, you also need to like, people make mistakes. It's okay. If he did it on accident, which is not the case, I don't care what
No.
anyone says. It's not. It wasn't an
He didn't do it by
accident.
accident.
It's he needs to understand that there are consequences for doing stuff like this. And the big studios like Marvel, they also need to lay the law down, because if not, I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, the spike of just movie leaks in the past couple years. Like,
Yeah,
it's getting
no,
pretty.
it's become a problem, and the way I would describe it is that people are so eager to be the first to, because there is a fine line between reporting exclusive news and straight up spoiling a movie. Like, I look at what happened with Black Panther 2 recently, and I love the Cosmic Circus. I love Lizzie Hill. Okay, I love the work that they do over there.
Who?
But the article, Lizzie Hill, she runs the Cosmic Circus.
That's
She's
hilarious.
She runs the inside.
Who?
But my
She
point
was-
being
she
is,
used to write
I'm
for
not lying. The
Murphy
Cosmic
Multiverse.
Circus sounds like something out of Marvel. I'm like, oh,
they
is
were
there
the
like
ones
this
who first reported the
thing called
Adam
the
Warlock
Cosmic-
casting. They were the first ones to report the Adam Warlock casting.
Oh,
Yeah, they got it right before the
Okay.
trades did. My point being, they put out an article, I will not say the contents of it because it is a massive spoiler for Black Panther 2, that people who knew, but it could have been a better surprise save for the movie. And that's the fine line we have to walk, where it's like, are we ruining these movies because we're so desperate for information as fans? We're so dry on content. We want these movies to be out already. You know, we've gone through a lot the last year and a half. We just want to be entertained. We just want to know everything that's going on. I get that, but there's a fine line between, again, reporting the news and spoilers. And I think right now we're so obsessed with leaks and spoilers that we're actively ruining these movies for ourselves. We really, really are. It's a shame.
Like, look at Caden. How many times have you seen Eternals?
0.
How much do you know about it?
80%.
All of it?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the fun in that? Like, listen, I get it, and RJ, you're super right. Like, reporting like that the leader is gonna be in She-Hulk, right? I don't know why I went right to that one.
Or like Abominations and She-Hulk when that got leaked earlier or something. That's different.
Cool. That's a little bit
cameo of a
different.
character, yeah.
Right. That's or
giving away the entire
um,
story or the movie's crux of position, the entire big plot point of the movie, the big surprise. That's different, you know.
Yeah, and I'll never ever think differently, ever. I can't. I like for instance, around when Endgame was coming out, I actually took social media off my phone because I was so worried that someone somewhere somehow was going to get to me. And, you know, that was before I was even doing this. So just be careful, you know, with the social media, because every single person and their mother wants to be the first one to show you, or no matter what, no matter if it ruins the movie for you, no matter if it makes your son cry because now he doesn't want to, I don't know, you know what I mean? But no matter what, they don't care about your feelings or how you want to go into the movie, whether that's with a little bit of knowledge or zero. They don't give a fuck. They just want the clout. They want the retweets, right? They want the fucking 12,000 retweets. Holy shit. I've shared Spider-Man Photoshops before with 12,000 retweets, so I might as well do it again because it made me hard.
Sharing
In my
leaks is like a
penal
rat
area.
race.
It's like
Sharing these leaks is just like a shitty rat race, so you can put them online first, and I hate it.
I don't know what you just walked into, William, but hello.
I'm kind of familiar with it because it's what I woke up to. Okay, so I'm a little bit different on this. These leaks came out via Sony, as far as I'm concerned, or by somebody else.
But why? Why
mean,
would they do that? It makes
The
no
same
sense.
reason why
it
they
goes-
leaked the post-credit scenes for Venom.
Yeah, that too. And also, the one thing also is it goes back to the whole North Korea hacking into Sony, and their whole security protocols have been whacked since then.
Yeah. This is their history. Now, if this was the first time that they did this, or the first time that something got out, then I would be surprised and I would see the uproar. But it's not. And what they leaked, I'm sorry, but if you didn't know that those three individuals were in the movie, then Sony was going to leak it anyway, because they're probably going to leak more before the final trailer. You're a month in, just over a month in before the movie goes. This is what's going to happen. I was expecting it a lot sooner. But as far as what got leaked and all that, that's not going to hurt anybody one bit. It's not going to hurt Campea one bit. It's not going to hurt Sony or MCU one bit. Nobody, not one red cent.
It certainly builds up. It builds up the anticipation. Absolutely, I just don't agree. I don't think Sony wanted this, though. I don't think I don't agree with the fact. I think Sony is not happy with these leaks.
Okay.
I think they're going to use them to their benefit, obviously for marketing purposes. I think they're going to mobilize them to push for marketing for their movie, but I don't think they wanted this.
Listen, I guarantee that next trailer definitely shows them if they're in it. Then,
and that's what Sony wanted. Sony wanted. They were in a battle with Marvel to have them in the trailer. Disney said no, but Sony wanted them in.
Okay.
If this was some studio backpedaling, I could maybe get down with that as a cause. I could maybe get down with that because I like a little.
Also,
I like a little
little tit for tat.
Yeah, a little tit for tat. Like if this was Sony's way of like, nah, we want to show them, and then we're gonna leak it to John, and John's gonna be an idiot and share it, of course, because he's wants the 12,000 retweets.
And he can take the cover. He's basically taking their shots for them. Is all it turns out to be. Nobody once this movie gets released, and everybody wanted to see them three guys on there. Personally, I could do without two of the three Spider-Man that are going to be in it, but that's fine. They knew there was a market for what they got. They leaked out. Okay, none of these people are idiots. None of the people are idiots. Campy is not an idiot. Sony's not an idiot. None of these people. You may disagree with some of what the people I just mentioned have done, but they're not stupid. And this wasn't somebody bumbling around in the dark. Oh my gosh, that got on the air. And like I said, I was expecting it a lot sooner than it did. It's November 9th right now.
Well, people have been trying to leak this for a long time, right? With the fake photos.
Well, remember, Ty, you've been covering
videos.
You've been covering this for so long. There was the leaked video of Andrew Garfield talking on the scaffolding. Yep. There was like the rumored pictures of like the blue screen sets.
Yeah,
this
so
has been
what
like
happened with the scaffolding thing.
My biggest deal is why wasn't this already put out by both companies already? This is the entire marketing of this movie so far. Why isn't this have been in the first trailer?
Which is funny because like this whole leak thing is with marketing and stuff. How did Spider-Man Peter Parker's identity get out? It leaked via the news.
Right.
I think what they can be doing is by using that as marketing.
What?
Are you gonna go meta on me, Caden, real quick?
What does that mean?
Are you trying to say that the ending of Far From Home is what is being used?
Yes, they're using the ending of Far From Home as the marketing. The way I'm going full on conspiracy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Alex Jones is here, folks.
Yeah, everyone.
What do I do? Black helicopters have been spotted.
This is how Sony and Marvel are marketing their movies. They're using the concept of the Far From Home ending to market their movie.
It's cheaper. It's definitely cheaper. Why spend $100 million on advertising when you pretty much have everybody clamoring for it already? All you have to do is put it out a little bit, save yourself $100 million. You know how much it costs to market these movies?
Yeah, a lot.
That comes out of the bottom line. And trust me, the people who leaked that stuff, that's their bottom line. That's money that they don't have to spend right now. And to be honest with you, not only do they have a history of doing this, to their credit, they've done it to great effectiveness. It actually works. They get people riled up. They pretty much butchered Venom, Let There Be Carnage, so that just to get you to the trailer, so that they could promote all of it, and it worked. So John Campea is not going to be touched at all by it. Sony's not, Marvel's not. Everybody's going to make out and like I said, if it were me, if all three individuals Spider-Mans are in that movie, the very first second of the trailer after you see Jane Jonah Jameson, I'm showing all three because it's the worst kept secret in the world. There's no suspense that these three individuals are in that movie.
Well, I've been very adamant that they're not.
Yeah, Ty keeps saying they're not.
No, they're not.
I'm gonna die on that hill too because
it's like they're not in this movie.
Can you imagine?
I need right up until that December 15th. What does it come out? 17th.
17th.
17th, so 16th.
All right, so right up until the
Thursday.
15th, that's when that's where I'm bringing this. So
Could you imagine if there's all some crazy smoke screen and like we all walk out of the theater and go like,
William. I don't know if you saw Campea stream today. He literally said, "Look at the lighting at Tobey Maguire's penis. It looks off."
No. Quote him. He said, "Tobey Maguire's dick."
Oh, sorry, dick. Yeah, Tobey
Look
Maguire's
closely.
dick.
No, he's Peter.
Tobey Maguire's dick.
Listen, that was Campea. If that was Campea covering that guy, you can tell when he's doing something like that because he's not comfortable doing it.
He looked nervous the entire.
He looked like someone had a gun to his head.
He looked like he was, dude. And that whole conversation. Well, somebody called me from Sony, asked me where I got him. The only way that happens is somebody lower than the person who gave it to him called him. The person
This
lower
is what
than
was
didn't know.
in front of him.
Yeah. So this to me, it's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal.
Casey, that's what I've been saying, and that's what I've been relating it back to is that leaked trailer. And I didn't know. So that person did get fired, right?
Wait, hold on. Are you talking about Wasilia Lamouchi?
Her name was on it, right? She got fired, right?
Someone told me that she didn't get fired.
Consequences.
Well, no. Okay, so the other person that had their watermark got fired.
Because there was a name under it, too, right?
There was Wasilia Lamouchi and there was Superhero Theorist, yeah.
Superhero Theorist, he was working with Murphy's Multiverse. He was right around there, and he got fired from there. Because Sony and Marvel Security called Charles Murphy his boss. And so this person that you have working for you that we told you many times before, like not just about him, but about you guys, like writing up stories on No Way Home, writing up stories about our Marvel movies and stuff. You guys can't do much more exclusives on No Way Home and Doctor Strange 2. And this gets out, and one of the writers' names is on the watermark of the trailer. That's their last straw. They're like, no, this person needs to be fired because clearly he's a liability. So that's what happened.
Well, the content that got released this time around, I'm sorry, that's the content that if you're putting this movie and you got investors to pay off, today's content is what you wanted out there, or last night, wherever it got released. I mean, that just makes it certain that all that interest you borrowed that money on to make these movies and finance these movies, that money's coming back now. You just pretty much ensured that you're getting your cash back. And because everybody thinks that when these movies make $1 billion, that it's some guy sitting on top of a bunch of money, like in The Dark Knight, just waiting to set on.
The money is spread.
Yeah, the theaters got to get their cut. So Sony's going to do everything in their realm to make sure that they increase that profit margin. And to me, like I said, first trailer all 3 Spider-Man would have been there to begin with because it was. Come on now.
See, William, that's where I agree with Casey Walsh here because I don't think Sony trusts Campea to be a messenger anyway. I
don't think they directly did it like Deep Throat, but there's intermediates. There's intermediates that have intermediates that make sure that things happen. They didn't get on the phone and be like, "Get me this guy." But there are certain people whose antenna are just a little bit longer than others and that are going to get things and that are going to have more contacts than certain people. And you just release it in those circles. You'll never know exactly who gets it. Like it's not a targeted thing, but it's out there. Certain people put it out there. And like I said, they can claim that they're angry. People can claim that they're angry about it, but trust me, come on. They're not angry about it because there's no negative to it. There's no negative to it at all.
Listen, I'm going to argue the fact that I think there is a negative to it. Maybe it's not that the bottom line is going to change. It's not that I doubt that people aren't going to go out to the movie and see it. Now, maybe even some older people that were fans of like just the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire series, or maybe they'll go out and see it. Maybe this helps the box office. Who knows?
It's going to help.
I'm saying the negative in it is that nothing in a film can stay secret these days.
Oh, it's 2021, Ty.
Yeah,
but what surprises are left for this movie now?
Right, that's the negative. The negative is right there. We're just looking past
the viewing experience for this movie might be ruined at this point.
Right, I saw Fatma on Twitter literally say that she was probably less inclined to go see this movie now because it seems like all we have to do is now figure out how the dots connect, and it seems
There's
like I
no
said,
fun
The
anymore.
vast
no-
majority of the people, this is not going to affect one way or another. The vast majority of the people, this is probably going to enhance the probability that they're going to see that movie. Yes, you may have some people that are upset, but if you go by the law of averages and the percentage, those people are not, they're specks on the screen in comparison to the people that this isn't going to affect negatively at all. You just got to go with the numbers on it.
Yeah.
What,
Also, you have to realize
what is
that
this?
genuine
What-
audiences
What
aren't.
is he saying here? I've gotten calls for taking.
Oh, he's
down.
saying that he has gotten calls from Marvel or Sony for
to
taking
take down
stories.
leaks or posts
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
Which happens to pretty much all scoopers and trades. That like if they were to put
Right, if
accidentally
they
slip
step
up
that-
in the
if they
article and they're
step
like,
over the
oh, can
line,
you edit
yep.
that out of the
Yep.
of the article or take down the article and then put it up tomorrow or whatever.
Right.
Which is
right.
why certain scoopers, when they do an article like doing a scoop and stuff like that, sometimes with their speculation after they drop it, like the next two sentences will be speculation, but that's what they really mean. Like this is what's happening, but then they'll be like, then they'll say more speculation after that, which make them seem like, oh, they're just speculating based off the scoop.
Right.
Right.
It's all a science. It's all
Scooping is a very, very, very dangerous game.
It is
I
very
know,
dangerous.
and I know that like Casey, all those other guys that do it, like I could go down the list. They've always say the same thing at one point or another. Listen, Campea even said it today. You'd be surprised at what I didn't share. Right? That's
he
like
said he had two other.
He had two other
photos,
images.
one of them
that's
the
always
mocap
something
photo.
that you hear from like scooping people is you'd be surprised at what I didn't show you. Right?
Right.
Is that just like an illustrious like way of being mysterious?
I think it's him trying to cover
maybe.
his ass saying,
Yeah.
I could have shown you something way worse.
Agreed. I think it's a way to keep
Until
you
he
guessing.
gets a call to release that next week.
Oh my god!
They're not
Not
going to
enough
call
respect
or
for
release
William.
nothing else. No more.
I think the only person in the world that is happy today about all this, if it's potentially true, is my friend, my buddy Andrew Casali.
Hey, Ty, you want to throw that picture I just sent you up on screen?
No.
Oh no.
I don't want to hurt his
There's a whole
feelings.
bunch of fans that are happy.
It's the leaked ending of the movie.
This is a low wage labor
See,
problem.
no, Casey
This
brings
is
up
what
a good
happens when low
point,
level
too.
people get an opportunity
my
and have
God,
nothing to
where's
lose. This is why
CW?
Marvel stuff rarely leaks. It's a small circle. Sony outsources.
Right.
Yeah.
And it always seems like that, right? When it's always like when another studio is involved, like when like this kind of scenario happens,
Oh no.
that leaks like this, right? Like not saying that with the Snyder cut there was two studios, but you very much had two different
Factions.
inside one studio, right? So whenever there's like that that conflict, these things happen. And I do understand that people in the studio, like, that's what I want to know. What do they gain? The person at the studio that leaks this kind of shit, what do they really gain?
A bonus?
Like,
More
do
money?
they sell scoops to scoopers?
Bonus.
I know.
Like,
A
say I got a
couple-
job, right? Say I got a job and I was working as an assistant to the assistant director, right? Someone who knows exactly what's going on at every day and knows exactly what the film is going to shape up to look like, right? And I get some information. Now, do I turn around and sell that to scoopers, or do I just give it to them for a relationship? How do scoopers do this? Do they
If you sell it,
Well,
and
I-
it's still a property, it's illegal. But
The way that I know one person does it, so you guys know.
don't bring up Doomcock. He gets his shit from Reddit.
No, I'm not going to bring up that person because that person's not even a scooper. That's a liar.
That's a
There's a
liar.
difference between a liar and a scooper. But scoopers. There's a scooper site that gets scoops from another scooper, and they tend to get probably $5 from that person for that information.
Okay. So it's more of the relationship aspect, right?
Yeah.
creating that relationship and being there for someone like, hey, I'll feed you the information, you get it out there, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I always thought it worked. But I was wondering, because what's the, if I'm at a studio, what's the benefit for me as the studio person to leak that information? All that's really on the
At
line
what
is
level?
my job.
At what level are you asking now? Are you asking at the executive level where it actually
Not at
happens?
the executive level, no.
Well, but that's where it happens.
Well, you sound like Alex Jones today. So
No, I mean,
Damn.
But like
What-
the way Scoopers get
Trace it
scoops
back to
is
who
based
benefits.
off of.
you think that the executives
hold
are
on.
leaking this information?
Reroute your question. Who benefits from it? You just asked who benefits from it. I just told you who benefits from it.
The exact.
The
Oh, that's
low-level
what you were
guy
saying.
doesn't
Okay.
benefit from
Okay.
it, you know?
So
The low-level guy doesn't benefit from anything. There's really nothing he could get, But like I said, the upper-level guy, the same people who, like I said, butchered Venom 2 just so you could get a fast track to that damn post-credit scenes, those guys benefited from it.
Yes, the post-credit scene where it will be confirmed that Spider-Man's not leaving the MCU. Yes.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
hey, listen. Hey, okay. You know
RJ,
what?
I'm giving you a
That
virtual
Marvel-
fist
you
bump.
like Kevin
That was
Feige
funny.
tattoo
We're
that
gonna.
you have on your chest.
We just hit that 2-hour mark. I'm not gonna wrap up just yet. That question is the one I want to finish on today. Is Spider-Man leaving the MCU after this deal is done? Because
Are you trying to get William to leave?
No.
No,
This is a
kidding, I'm
conversation
kidding.
that I've never had on camera.
Oh, I know.
recently.
Hold on.
Okay,
Let me go first because I actually got to get back in. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think after this movie is over, Sony will take over the solo Spider-Man movies. They will no longer be MCU or Disney produced. He will be allowed, and the associated characters that they need will be allowed to cross over when they need them. But it's from that point on, you're no longer going to see like you saw in the original trilogies, which everything about Spider-Man was pretty much built up to fit the MCU narrative because that's what they were doing. His next trilogy will be by Sony, and they will tell his stories with the characters and the infrastructure that they've built around him, with the characters that you have with Morbius, with Kraven, those type of characters. Now they'll be available; they'll still swap. But as far as that goes, I mean, now whether they semantically do it as far as like yanking them from the MCU, it's not really going to matter in that resistance because you could have 3 Spider-Man movies set in the same place and never have any of those characters that are associated with the MCU, like Iron Man and all these other characters that have kind of cluttered his movies. You could still have that and still say, hey, yeah, we're in the MCU, but never in practice really do it that way. So Sony's going to take the captain's chair after this movie. I think that's what they've been setting up for since 2018, and I think that's what's going to happen. There's nothing that I've seen that has dissuaded me from thinking that's what's going to go on.
I would definitely not hold it against Sony. Listen, I can see this argument from both sides. Whereas what William is saying, it's almost like Sony has got a taste of what it looks like to be successful with the Spider-Man franchise. And eventually, I've always thought that one of these studios is going to get greedy and want it all for themselves, right? We saw what happens when one studio wants one thing, the other wants another, right? Then Spider-Man's gone from the MCU, right? There was like 3 days where we thought that was the case. So that's my question. Is Sony looking at this like this was our training wheels? Like we needed Marvel to help us learn how to ride the bike. Now
Well, I think they gleaned from what Marvel, the exposure that they got with Marvel, but also it's not just that; it's what they were able to do with Venom. That movie made $858 million. That told them the response they're getting from the Morbius trailers, the success, the COVID or whatever affected success of Venom, Carnage. The fact that they with Spider-Verse, a lot of the stuff that they've been doing with Spider-Man has built their momentum up to the point, along with these characters that they're creating. That I'm not. If you look at the trailer that they released for Morbius, there was nothing in there that wasn't wholly Sony owned. That had not appeared pretty much in any Spider-Man movie. There wasn't a bunch of MCU things that were in there, and that's what they're setting up for. That they're setting up their own. I mean, for lack of a better phrase, web to tell their stories in.
Anyone else? Well, you know what? RJ always has a really strong stance on this. So RJ,
RJ
Why
just
you
stepped away
lead
for
up?
a second.
oh, did he?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, me and RJ, I got a bolt, but me and RJ, we've gone hours on this. And
Right.
when he comes
Oh,
out to
yeah.
Vegas,
It's been like an entire
probably-
anime arc.
Hey,
It's
man.
just been-
I'm gonna be coming soon. I'm
Cool.
gonna be coming soon.
Come out. I think RJ said he's going to be out here. We're probably going to go see Spider-Man.
I'll be there from the
I
14th
was-
to the 20th.
I was thinking that we could maybe do Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's make it a party. Let's do like what's that movie with the white tiger, Mike Tyson?
Hangover?
Hangover.
Yeah, but without the drugs and alcohol. You know what I mean?
I was
Just
gonna
like having
say
fun.
that's a
Yeah.
thing for me. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. So
Can't
we
do
can get the
that.
white tiger. I can arrange the white tiger.
All right.
Don't ask how. But yeah, let's all get together in December and go see Spider-Man and whatever else is out there. Man. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I just want to come and see the shop, man. That's
Oh
really
yeah,
what I want to do.
it's coming along. And by that time, the Star Wars section and the Star Trek section will be complete.
Oh,
So get to walk around. Probably see me wear a Star Trek uniform.
did anyone else see that?
Yes.
No.
Lightsabers and all. You can even have your own lightsaber duel right in the middle of the store if you want. Just got to sign some
All right.
waivers.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right,
you guys have
William.
a great night, man.
You too.
See you later.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my
Casey.
thing. I don't know one side or the other, right? I don't know whether it will happen or not. My ideal situation would be that they let Peter Parker continue his story in the MCU and potentially introduce Miles Morales, have Miles Morales swing over to Sony and continue a new Spider-Man story over there. We do know that it's literally like in quotes, Spider-Man's the only character whose powers include transcending cinematic universes. So
Yeah. that's what
why
you
can't
said
we
there.
do what's best for both studios, considering we do have two different Spider-Men? I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
I mean, there's also the rumors too that Feige's going to help Sony produce the Spider-Woman movie with Olivia Wilde directing. So that's been a rumor for a while too.
The what?
The
Spider-Woman movie.
I think
Olivia
it's Spider War. I was like,
No,
Oh,
Spider.
okay.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
Spider War.
There is the Spider-Verse comic is actually something close to that, where they all team up against this like race of people that eat Spider-Man. It's weird.
Yeah, but
It's really
agree
weird,
with
but
Casey,
So,
though. I
right
agree
here,
with Casey
Marvel
that
will
if
help
they-
Sony with other characters.
I
think that could be a
like
good idea.
Craven and like like
Spider-Woman
RJ said,
especially.
Spider Woman.
Could we see a day where like Marvel and Sony merge?
combine like that? No.
No.
I think
No.
what-
Where,
I
no,
think
no,
what
no. Where
exists-
like Disney outright buys it.
No,
Oh,
if anything, they'll
Sony-
outright
Disney
buy
can't
Spider-Man.
Sony because of legal.
Sony
legal
has no
reasons.
money.
it'd be a
Um,
monopoly, I
but-
think, at that point.
Yeah, it'll be the monopoly. The only people that can buy Sony is Apple and Apple.
And Amazon.
That's a lot of.
Well,
And
I would
Amazon.
say,
And
here's the thing that would
Amazon, yeah.
happen though. If a company tries to buy Sony Pictures, and let's say the deal goes through, let's say Apple buys Sony Pictures, the rights to Spider-Man
Yeah,
automatically
the rights go
reverse.
back to Spider-Man. Rights
Yeah.
go back to Marvel. So
What?
Yeah, that's how it works. They sold the rights out. They leased the
Is
rights
that a
basically.
contingency?
it's
Yeah,
because,
they're
let's say,
non-transferable. Like if Apple
Yeah,
buys
so
Sony, they don't get Spider-Man.
you
Oh.
lease that. You
So,
lease my house.
If I was the House of Mouse, I would look over at Apple or Amazon and be like, here's some money. Go buy it.
That Jeff Bezos doesn't need Disney money.
no, he
They
No,
want to get in the
but-
content game, dude. They can own a lot
Yeah.
of Sony properties if you think about it.
and also like with
That's how I play dirty. Though.
But then people are saying also Apple buying Sony is also monopoly because of technology that they
Yeah.
do, like Sony products like the headphones that they
Well,
have.
they would own.
PlayStation.
They
I think-
would own televisions.
Yeah, I think
Blu-ray
Sony has
players,
a great.
streaming
PlayStation.
devices.
No, Sony
PlayStation.
has a wonderful OLED. They really do. I think
They do.
Sony and I'm not a Sony person. Like I like LG, but Sony
Talking about
I
the
did
Bravia.
yes, I did try out the Bravia and
Yeah.
it was magnificent.
Those things are
However, I
great.
didn't go that way. So I always thought Sony was doing like pretty well with the technology side of things. Maybe just not on the picture side of things.
Yeah, their film
They're
brand's just not
bleeding
bringing a lot of
money.
money.
Right. it's you have to ask. That begs the question, like why they do it, in the first place. Like why did Sony ever get into the movie making game? Because I don't know. This is different. That's a different.
Well, I was gonna say I agree
suppose.
with Casey though. If there's a new deal in place, they've already finalized. It's already been done for a while.
Yeah,
It's
been
just
done
sitting on
for-
the shelf,
It's
ready to be
ready to be
done.
announced.
So what do
Yeah.
you what? Because me and RJ, does anyone else have any thoughts on if Spider-Man would whether what's gonna happen?
No idea.
I think we're getting a college trilogy.
So, okay, well that leads me into another thing. How would you keep Peter Parker specifically
Mhm.
in the MCU after the trilogy's done? Are you just gonna do 4, 5, 6? Because like now we're seeing it, right? Thor 4, Captain America 4. Is the trilogy game over? Or would maybe a Spider-Verse trilogy come into play potentially?
Well, Sony is in charge of a Spider-Verse trilogy, the animated ones, but I don't think they need a
Yeah,
live action
I don't-
Spider-Verse trilogy.
I think after No Way Home, because I just also like saw like people like realizing that like if the spell that Doctor Strange does work in the end, that means the whole Vulture figuring out that that whole Peter Spider-Man stuff
Right.
is also gone. So
Right.
that means Vulture is back to being hating Spider-Man.
Right.
So that can turn into a whole thing where Vulture now can go to the Sinister Six of the MCU. So like maybe Spider-Man 6, which this college trilogy and this high school trilogy leads up to MCU's version of Sinister Six, which Spider-Man 6 or Spider-Man 7, whatever that may be.
My God, Spider-Man 7. That sounds really weird. Spider-Man.
I know
7.
because only 2 Spider-Man have been able to get past the number 3.
Right. I think just on principle, they need to call it Spider-Man 4. No more home thing. It needs to be called
I think
Spider-Man
it's going to sound
4.
really
thing is
dumb,
only for
but
high
just hear me
school.
out. I think they should call it Spider-Man College Bound. That sounds really dumb, but so does Homecoming.
That's a weird title.
It is, but again, dumb.
think-
I
Marvel
think they need to
movie
get
names.
like a new naming convention for the trilogy. No more Home.
I think because Home
Yes.
was for Home was
Agreed.
for the high school, and they said that Home is done. Home is done after this one because it's just for high school.
Right.
And Homecoming, the Spider-Man Homecoming was also
A double
literal,
meaning.
the fact that it was Spider-Man coming home.
Yeah, of course. I
Like-
saw what they were doing there. That
Yeah,
was,
and
I honestly, Homecoming, I thought was a great title. I did.
Yeah.
I thought it hit
And
perfectly with
Yeah.
with how that, because dude, the day that they announced Spider-Man was coming to the MCU, like officially, I in my boxers was running down the street. This is not a lie. I swear to God.
I need to read.
I
my God.
I ran outside of my house in Billerica. I didn't run down the street. I ran down my driveway and then like back up. I was so excited. Like that was a great day. And I would hate for that to end. I really would. Because I know like guys like Austin who cares, right? About Tom Holland Spider-Man. They don't think that he's done a great job. I think for the most part, he's done a wonderful job as Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Yeah, he's had father figures, like too many of them almost. And there's
did
always
Toby.
another Avenger in the story, which
I
can
mean-
water down. With DC
technically,
Spider-Man,
because those Avengers are contractually obligated to be in the movie
right?
because they
So-
have to have one Avenger in the movie.
Right. So if you thought Spider-Man, the Tom Holland Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home had an event too much,
Avenging.
wait till you see 3 Spider-Man, 18 villains, and Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
And a partridge in a
Do
pear
don't
tree.
you mean 60
Damn
villains?
Yeah. So have fun with that one. Again,
Thank you for the mental image time.
I do also think that at the end of this movie the spell will work, but it'll have conditional side effects. So for example,
Nausea, vomiting, water weight gain, lower back pain.
don't do the Jeff Foxworthy thing. Don't do the Jeff Fox. I know you're doing the Jeff Foxworthy thing. Don't do that.
Wow, you're the first
Hunchback,
person
heart
ever to get
attack.
that.
I know that TW. I'm from the South.
But I
You
do
idle
have an
down here.
exclusive
Anyway,
video from No Way Home that I want to show you guys that I was able to show, and I will show it here. Are you guys ready?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Oh, hi, Spider-Man. Oh, yeah, dude.
Going on a hot date tonight?
Yeah, I got a date with Mary Jane.
Mary Jane?
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, mate. You smell like shit.
Oh.
Yeah, use that, buddy.
Oh, thanks.
Use a bit of that for you.
What do I do?
Yeah. Spiderman? You okay?
I smell good now.
What in God's name was that? What the fuck? Why was his head and body shape so goddamn
You know what it
weird?
feels like? The best way I can describe it. This, I think you'll understand how hopefully you get where I'm going with this. What that looked like to me was me having a dream about Spider-Man after watching a Spider-Man movie after succumbing to a head injury. That's what that looked like. Tell me I'm not wrong.
No, you're right. You're good. You got that. You literally that reminded me of that gave me the same feelings of the plebo thing or whatever it was called. Plebo.
Oh, Pibby?
Pibby or whatever it's called.
Learning with
yeah.
Pibby.
God.
Learning is so fun. We like to spell it. We like to hug.
All right, guys, we are at the end of the day. I just want to say thank you to everyone that showed up today and to my special panel of special people. You guys are truly one of a kind, and you make every day worth streaming. And I appreciate that. I really do. I might tease and poke here and there, but I love each and every one of you. So as always, guys, I know the end sucks, right? But everything that's good has to end. Make sure to share the show, like it, do all the subscribe-y thingies. And you can become a member for as low as $2.99. I am going to let these guys, I included most of your links in the description, but you can tell us where to find you. Starting from the top, RJ.
Yeah, you want to find me, Resonant Justice, on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. It's Resonant Justice. Pretty easy to find, so.
Yes. I typed it in, Resonant Justice, and it came right up. So his link is in the description below. If you want to continue the conversation with TW, where can you find them?
Y'all can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit at TWMcKay34. I'll put that in the chat in 1 second. And next person, see if we'll play.
Alrighty.
I mean, to be fair, TW has the biggest question on his banner. Can you spoil history? But no, if y'all want to look me up, you can find me on YouTube. I changed my channel name to Enter the Metaverse. You can also find me on Twitter at the Most Meta. I'm active on there quite frequently, and you can also look up my podcast called Talking Meta. And yeah, I'm available.
And I'm working on a couple of your episodes right now.
Oh, did you get them?
Yes.
Oh, yes, the Google thing worked. Thank you, God. I was about to talk to you about that after the show. Awesome.
Yeah, I got them and I'm working on them now. And
you,
as always, my lifeblood, truly my lifeblood, was everyone in the chat, especially you, Shri. Especially you. And everyone else, thank you for commenting and engaging with the chat tonight. It was really fun. I had a good time. And we'll do it again very soon. Jive with Jack was canceled today because Jack and his internet or something. Comcast was out. So he asked me to step in, and I didn't want to use the Jive with Jack name. So, I didn't.
Yeah.
So he'll be back on Thursday, hopefully, all things considered, all things considered. So.
And then Ty, is it all right if I finish out with something just to kind of end on the same note I started on, if that's okay? Okay.
Good.
I was going to say, just to end on the same note that I began on, I'd like to put a phone number, if that's possible, into the chat.
Yes.
If you or someone you know, this is for the SAMHSA. If you or someone you know is suffering from substance abuse and would like a private confidential service to speak to someone in either English or Spanish in the United States, you can feel free to call this number that I just placed in the chat here, 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. Thank you very much, Ty.
Yeah, of course. And I also have the link for our new show, hosted by myself, who is a recovered alcoholic, and my friend Brian, who's a recovering addict alcoholic. And we talk about our trials and tribulations, what led us to sobriety and all that. And it's been really fun to get things off my chest and just laugh with someone who's like me, because there's not a lot of us that make it. There isn't. The fentanyl situation in the country right now is, the second epidemic, right? There's the pandemic, and then we have just about a problem with fentanyl. People are dropping every single day, every single minute, every second. So definitely call that number if you are struggling, or feel free to reach out to me. If you're in the Boston area, I can get you into almost any program, and we can get you some help, and we can just talk. So on that note, I would like to say I love you guys, and I will see you next time.